Welcome back, everybody, to Dungeon League. Once again, we are joined by the
Kugo,
same.
you're upset. You're sad.
Four.
Not waving.
Yeah, method acting. You gotta just. There you go. You'll be all right. You'll get through it. So, last we left off, we were inside the glade of the right beneath the camp with the large pit. Selena had just run into the forest in search of Otwin Dane, and she is nowhere to be seen. Aegis, you had returned to town with the numerous Sundal survivors and once prisoners, and Mick and Asher. You're inside the glade. I believe you were on the way back to town as you had told your father off.
Yeah.
Reciting, I believe, what about his duties as a father and a husband. Asher, you begin to walk down toward town with Mick and Joran in suit. As you walk, Mick, Joran obviously looks quite distraught as he walks, both from the previous hour's events and what his son had just said. He looks to you, and you can see that he just kind of just pauses for a moment, be kind of going through his thoughts. He goes, Mick, I don't know what to do. I feel that I failed both my son and my wife.
Honestly, I don't know if anything or anyone knew what to do. It just seemed the odds were against us. Anything we tried, anything we had means to obtain just fell apart.
Do you think there's a chance that he'll get over this? I can't have my only son hating me. And you are his closest friend.
I'm not gonna lie to you. It's been 26 years since my mother died, and I'm still not over it.
But do you blame anyone for it, other than what caused it?
I can't say I do, but the circumstances are different. Also, if you can hear that, let me know.
You're good.
Okay, good. Husky's over. Sorry, breaking character. Husky's over, and he's playing Apex. So if you hear him yelling or anything, just let me know, and I'll mute it. Okay.
Okay.
Where were we?
Jordan continues to walk forward, and obviously just the silence goes throughout the forest. You hear the occasional just ambiance of the forest itself. Small brushes being moved, or like ferns being moved around by rabbits, squirrels, things of the sort. Occasionally you might see something in the distance of a deer just kind of moving throughout or getting kind of spooked as you guys walk through. You haven't seen either Selena or Aegis in the time that you've been walking.
Motion to join. The only thing I do know is things heal in time. And at the time, I don't see Selena or Aegis anywhere. What happened?
Well, up on top of the plateau near the hole, I left Aegis to take care of the villagers. He's very capable. I've seen him. He cares. Perhaps that's his functioning. I can't say that I know much about Warforged myself, but he's good for what he is. I'm sure he was a little bit roughed up, but he'll be all right, and I trust him to get back to the town safely with the others. As for Selena, she is one with the Force, as most elves are. Well, maybe not Atticus, but she'll be all right. He kind of walks as he looks around. You see that he kind of continuously just keeping an eye on Asher as you guys walk, but says nothing.
What's like Asher's body language right now? Is he next to the people? Is he off on his own? What's going on?
I imagine I'm further ahead, within distance of you seeing me. My head is down, but my walk is very steady and deliberate and paced.
I motion to Jorah that I'm gonna go over to Asher. I try to slowly approach Asher, not too eager, but walking at a faster pace just so I can catch up to him. And eventually, I get shoulder to shoulder, and I go to hit him in the chest where he hit me.
Hit me.
Just roll strength.
Yeah, you're trying to punch him in the chest.
Yeah.
You don't have to roll. Are you just trying to just give him a solid thud?
I want to hit him.
Are you trying to hurt me?
Yeah, just go ahead and just.
I'm wearing my armor, so.
Yeah, just go ahead and just roll strength. You kind of walk up and you kind of give him just a solid kind of thud on the armor.
Ignore that. Nope, I want to do it this way. It's not better. Fuck.
Anyways, you walk up and you kind of give him a thud on the chest. Your armor, actually, you kind of feel just that thud from his hand, but you feel nothing underneath.
I stop when I feel the hit. And almost as if there's a shadow being cast on my forehead and over my eyes, I kind of look over towards you. You could see that the tears have stopped, but the face is still very, very, very much my expression is just this mess. And I look back down and I keep walking.
As he goes to keep walking, I attempt to grab his shoulder and pull him towards me and just turn him around.
Okay. I fight it.
I mean, are you just trying to keep? I mean, how hard are you trying here, Mick?
I'm trying to get him to face me.
You can just roll strength checks against each other.
Okay.
You're not strong, you're a bitch. That's athletics.
So it'd still be higher than yours, though. Even with
it's the same roll.
It hurts me inside.
I just keep walking.
Yeah, you find you just kind of meet a bit of an impasse. You see Asher just kind of resist you, pulling him back, and they continue to walk down. Behind you, Jordan just walks very solemnly. He holds his helmet in his other hand. As kind of a soft rain is beginning to fall through the top of the trees, occasionally you just kind of feel a little cold drip hit your arm as it kind of just rolls down.
I turn to Jorah. This one isn't something that'll be easily fixed.
Quick thing.
And then continue to walk.
There's an N at the end of the name.
Joran?
There you go.
Why am I thinking Jorah? Why do I know that name?
Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones.
Can we get a counter of how many times we fuck up Seismic's NPCs names?
I don't want to talk about it.
That'd be a good.
Where's Nigel?
Yeah.
Yeah, where is
Campaign
Nigel?
counter.
Nigel, I will no longer help you. Shut up, Thornberry. All right.
Nah, no.
No, you
Close
can do it.
enough. Oh God. We'll have a sit down after stream and
You
go over all
can't
the
unhear
names.
it, can you? Once it goes that far south, you can't unhear it.
I'm gonna have to renege my own names. Damn it, because you just won't.
Dude, Jorah
All right.
and Nigel are best friends, all right?
Great.
It's canon now.
Aegis, after a few hours, or after about an hour, you're the first to arrive in town. You don't see the others nearby. It's middle of the night. Kind of a soft wind has gone across the fields, and during this entire time, it seems like everyone's kind of crowded around you. Everyone at least a foot shorter than you are, as you kind of just see this Titan walking through, just the steel armor, this moonlight glancing off of it into the nearby wheat of it, kind of just sitting about waist high. Several of them offer you a brief hug as they return back to their various dwellings, different cellars. You just kind of seem to spread out.
Yeah, I don't hug back, only kind of understanding what the gesture they're showing me, but I let them do it. And if once they've all dispersed, I'll head back to Phil Rose, I guess. And
Okay. Returning back down into the cellar where you've seen Philro many a times before, you see that pretty much everyone is asleep, including Philro. You do your best to kind of duck through. Just give me a dexterity check, actually.
Okay, this will be fun.
Roll for bonk.
You kind of scrape and kind of slam. Like, you get kind of past some of the stones. A couple people raise their heads and kind of offer you a quick glance, but as they see some of the other familiar faces come down, and suddenly you kind of begin to see a little bit more rustling as some of the familiar faces come down, and kind of a little bit a decent amount of happiness begins to kind of fill that cellar as some of the people that you had rescued are reunited with their families, their children, their husbands, the fathers, everything. And Filler just kind of rolls over and offers you a quick nod of approval you've seen before, and he returns back to sleep.
I'm gonna go to like a corner of the room, kind of out of the way.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna sit down and I'm going to begin writing in my spell book.
Yeah.
And then take a long rest.
By all means. Yeah, you flip over your tome and just with thump, thump, and you pretty much just begin to just kind of script through it, and you're actually just kind of you're just hunched over in this kind of smaller chair meant for one of the other dwarves that lives here, and you're just kind of like just hunched there, just kind of arced over, and you just kind of, after probably an hour or so, you're able to finish your work and rest and kind of go into your power down mode. About an hour later, Asher, Mick, and Joran, the three of you return to town. Selena's nowhere in sight, but you're able to walk through the town. The soft rain again, just pretty much the only sound amidst the field. The light wind going through, and returning into your cellar.
I would like to go to my parents' house.
Okay. As you begin to walk towards that way, Joran, who is the last, begins to kind of sit down the cellar, puts his hand on the wooden door and turns. Pauses for a moment. And as you kind of walk down further, you hear the footsteps of him behind you as he kind of is just trailing you.
Sure.
Okay, what is it? All right, well, after a few minutes, you make your way back into your parents' house.
Mm-hmm.
It's still in good condition. It seems that up until whatever this incident happened, maybe a month ago, everything was taken care of. A couple of weeds have grown up a bit more, and now that you're here and able to get a proper look compared to when you first got to the town, you see that there's some small issues with the home that haven't been cared for. Some of the windows are a bit more dirty than they were once left, but the house is dark.
I'd like to go to. Are there any pictures up in my house?
Stepping into the home, you see that there are several pieces of parchment and pictures that are painted and things of the sort. There's pictures of Mick that are in there. There's pictures of you and your mother. There's ones of you and your father, as full family, four of you, everything.
I will go to a painting, a picture of the family, my family as a whole.
Yeah, one of the largest paintings is actually suspended right in kind of the center, the foyer of the home itself, before it goes down into the other stairs or off the other rooms. It's well made. The frame itself, it kind of has a silver inlay. It was obviously commissioned for a decent price. Your father leans into the kind of the door frame and just sits there, not speaking.
Yeah. I begin to take pieces of my armor off. Just one by one, chest piece.
Kind of set them down, sit on the wooden floor.
Yeah. And I go to reach for my shield, and I realize it's not there anymore. And I look up at the painting of my family, and I take my warhammer out, and I flip it around to see the pendant of my mother inlaid in the bottom of my hammer. And I just drop my hammer on the ground.
Loud thud, it slams into the wooden floor. We hear a small crack as it breaks one of the oaken boards.
And I just look down. And I just begin trembling.
You hear the soft kind of footsteps of your father as he approaches. He's still fully armored. He kind of kneels down beside you and puts his hand on your shoulder. Once again, saying nothing. After a short while, kind of you just sitting there for a moment, you kind of feel its grip tighten onto your shoulder. My boy, I am so incredibly sorry. Otwin is a terrible man. He and I, your mother, go way back. We used to be close. I wish this could have turned out differently. My emotions took over during that. I should have acted differently myself. You see that his eyes and kind of begin to water a little bit. I never told you about Otwin. It never seemed necessary. He serves, or so I thought, Tyler Thane.
Actually, Dad,
Yes.
I'd prefer if you didn't tell me about him. As I squeeze out one more tear.
I understand. For the sake of brevity, know that he must be put down at all costs.
I turn and I just collapse on my father with my arms around him.
He just takes your weight as you fall onto him, and he kind of just
And I just
falls
start bawling. I just start bawling my eyes out.
Same.
Mix begins to cry inside the cellar.
I can hear it from here, baby.
You're drift compatible.
Oh my god, are you tours too?
All right. This goes on, it goes into the night.
I cry until I fall asleep, whether it's on him or on the floor. Or
After about an hour, you
wherever.
feel yourself just kind of feel yourself fade. Selena. Inside the woods in the middle of the night, you find yourself lost, but not entirely. You don't know where you are, but you know your general proximity. You know the direction towards Sundal, but you don't know exactly where in the forest you are. You had been running for some time in search of Otwin. The forest itself, while alone and not near the others, you don't have the distractions of the armor, of the fighting. The only thing you hear is the sounds of nature itself. You hear the occasional deer pass by. You hear the birds chirp. You hear the flowers, the vines, the foliage, everything just moving against itself. As you walk through, you look down, you see various herbs and mushrooms, and begin to kind of pick at them. You pick them up slowly, begin to, inspect them, you kind of just begin collecting them. Put some of them in your pack, and you're just holding on to this. For about 2 or 3 hours, you go and collect these things. After a short while, you find yourself in a small glade, or more of a bedding of kind of these tall plants. You're able to kneel down, and you find yourself into a deep meditation. This goes on as, through your meditation, you begin to focus. You feel yourself kind of extend out towards your surroundings. You feel every insect, every flower, every movement in the forest around you. Occasionally, a small animal will walk by and kind of go across the plants or the grass in front of you, but nothing. Nothing distracts you. As you become attuned to each sound, after you feel the sun begin to move overhead, you feel the sun begin to rise, the warmth of it gracing your face, the soft rain almost just kind of fading away as you feel the dampness and the dew fill the surrounding area. You feel a presence near you. As you open your eyes, you see kind of a subtle sable surface through the ferns in front of you. A small movement moves from the left to the right. After a while, you see it again off to your left, moving again. And finally, in front of you, you see some of the ferns begin to move and shift. You just hear a deep. And from it, you see 2 eyes open up, these deep orange eyes, as a large panther slowly creeps up through the ferns. You see the plants move away as they begin to brush out of the side. You see this large black head peek through. It approaches you slowly, its large paws being matted down, just pressing into the dirt. You see its weight pressed down, moving all the plants away. As it gets closer and closer, it lowers its head, and you begin to hear a as it lowers its head. Reaching out your hand, you feel it rest onto its large head. You feel the soft fur beneath. And you just begin to feel the connection between both the panther and yourself. As you stand up, the panther begins to walk around you in circles. Eventually, you find it resting at your feet.
I reach my I put my arm out and I run my hand along the back of its neck all the way through the length of its like spine.
Again, you hear the deep as it slowly just kind of arcs its butt higher and higher in the air as you get to the end of it, and just kind of arcs its back, and then it just stands up. Its muscular shoulders shifting and moving as it stands, again circling you once more.
I look at it just straight in the eyes.
It blinks slowly, but you see the intensity. Its eyes widen from before narrowing once again, staring at you. You obviously, it means you no harm.
I just I look and kind of sort of in a disbelief, but I feel like my nerves and all the anxiety and just stress slowly just begin to quell, and I just say, Saris, as I take my hand again and start like running it against its back. You shall be Saris, and I am Selena.
You hear it let out just a deep as it begins to just rotate. Each movement, you see the muscles kind of shimmer across the black surface of its fur. It's fur immaculate, despite it, moving through all these ferns and bushes. With that, it begins to kind of walk through the ferns around you, just kind of patrolling the area. What is it you are doing?
I'm still kind of shocked, but I look at it and I say, let's go home. Or let's go back. Just stay by my side, and I like reach for it again, just motioning it to come by like my side.
And it pushes its head into your palm for a moment, just kind of rotate, like kind of pushing the side of its jaw into it, and just begins following you as you head back towards Sundial. Asher, you awake in the morning to find that you are now inside your old room. You've been laid into your bed. Your armor is set and polished off to the side. You smell kind of the small crackling of a fire beyond, inside the living room that you had spent many years, many nights in front of. The smell of fresh food, of eggs and bread. The smell of mead begins to waft into the room, awakes you. Mick, during this time, Jorn has returned back to the cellar and awoken you. Mick, if you'd be so kind, would you join me?
I ready myself. Sure.
He leads you back to the home that you shared amidst the family. Asher, you hear the sounds of footsteps walk in, two pairs, as the door in front of you is closed, but you hear the two sets of footsteps.
I put on my armor first and foremost.
Okay.
And then as soon as I have all of my armor back on, I'll. Can you just give me like a rundown of the room, of what my old room looks like?
Your old room, you have a relatively large bed, nice wooden frame that was constructed. It's probably about the third bed that you've had as you've grown. Things have been constructed or just worn down in general, and this one was kind of the last that you had. Inside the room, there's various trinkets. There's small metal medallions, a lot of the things given to you by Theron just as your apprenticeship through the forge and blacksmith. Both was outside your parents' home as well as a blacksmith. The floor is relatively dirty, both from apparently a month of it not being taken care of and just your work inside or through the forge. There's several banners. There's blankets and kind of just relatively quaint. And a couple of lanterns that line the shelf. There's there's sets of clothes inside the dressers where you left them. And beyond that, there's just other small little trinkets and
Sure.
a couple
I just
chests.
walk over and I pick up just one of the small trinkets from Theron. I just kind of pick it up and inspect it again and kind of get washed over by all the nostalgic sort of memories.
It's a small hammer that was used for just a little bit of detail work. Inside of it is the sigil of Moradin on the side, and the other side it actually has Theron's naming. Kind of the handle itself is worn after years of usage, but it's just kind of this small little tiny hammer that I use for detailing.
Yeah. I set it back down softly. And I turn and I walk out of the room, open the door.
Walking out, you see you're greeted by Mick and Joran, both in the kind of primary room of the house. Several plates are laid out with food. There's 4 plates, each with similar helpings. As Joran says, but one moment, I forgot something. By all means, help yourselves. And he turns and walks out.
I walk towards Mick. And as I'm walking over, I kind of I put my one arm, kind of scratch my neck, and my face kind of shoots a couple different emotions in a row. I kind of go from like a forced smile to like a exhausted to a little bit of like a bothered to just saying,
I cut him off.
Mick.
You don't have to say anything, man. Get him. We'll get him. I promise.
Yeah. And I sit down at the table and start digging into food, I guess.
All right. A short while later, Jorn descends into the cellar. You see Jorn as he kind of walks down the cellar, and he kind of just pounds a couple times on the kind of the wooden beam that kind of sits and holds up the side of the stone wall. Aegis. Where is he? And he kind of looks at the corner where you're just laying down, just hulking mass, taking up 2 cots. Kind of walks over and just kind of like just picks his finger and kind of pokes on. You hear like a kind of a tink 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 against your.
I get up and look at him. Yes.
Would you be so kind as to join us? The others are waiting elsewhere. I want to properly thank you all. Very well. Just meet me outside.
I gather up my book and my pack and stuff, and I head out.
Okay. Asher and Mick, you're after probably about 30 minutes or so, you hear the sound of heavy metallic footsteps outside, and in walks through the door this large metal mass that you recognize as Aegis. As Jordan walks in, I thought that you would best if you were all here. I can't seem to find Selena. But I'm sure she'll be back soon.
Did she come back to town?
No one
Last night?
No one's seen her. I asked several people after she disappeared into the.
I slowly start to get up and I kind of look at Mick.
It's not going to do.
I reach my arm out and like just settle him back in his chair. She'll be fine. He's an elf.
I agree.
You're probably right. Yeah.
I'll turn around and inquire. Have you heard anything or seen anything about the town that's different?
What do you mean?
We made some noise last night. Just curious if anything's changed or if guards are more alert or something about the town seems off.
No, I think it's just a general change in attitude. All the 3 camps that we knew of were all destroyed, overtaken with minimal casualties. Most everyone was returned. Anyone who has been infected.
Insulted by the minimal casualties. What do you mean by minimal casualties?
I'm not speaking of the quality, I'm speaking of the quantity. I'm aware that your friend passed away. I'm aware of who passed away. Don't mistake that. But things could have been much worse.
Doesn't make it any better.
Regardless, At this time, Selena, you've been walking through the field, and as you return to town, you see that not many people are outside or moving about. It is midday, kind of probably about a little bit before noon, and several people stare at you, both inquisitively and in fear, as a large black panther walks beside you. What is it you are doing?
I go straight. Is there a tavern or a bar that's just up and
Nothing's
and
been in
about?
use as everyone's been inside the various cellars.
Yeah.
There's a cellar that you have been staying in.
I just want to go and I'm not ready to go and socialize just yet, but I just want to walk about the town. Just kind of just make a loop and have noticed or try to notice anything out of the ordinary besides like the townspeople.
Okay. As you walk through, numerous people who have been trying to move between different cellars and different areas begin to shriek as they see. You hear the sounds of the rest of you hear the sounds of screams through kind of cutting through your conversation. You begin to hear sounds of what sounds like panic or perhaps someone getting
we
murdered.
do
yeah,
in
you
the
all
house?
hear this. And Jordan
I
quickly
get up
stands
immediately.
Yeah,
I look at
immediately
Mick
get
and
up
we get up immediately, and
Immediately
we
get up, grab my bow, and
yep,
rush out into the street.
Yeah,
grab my hammer, and I go out too.
I grab my
The
shield.
four of you just kind of sprint out and almost slide in the middle of the street as you begin to look around. And around the corner, probably about 100 feet down, you see a large black panther just kind of prowling, moving through the street slowly. That's the first thing you see, and then behind that, you see Selena walking slowly, probably about 5 or so feet back.
Okay, so Selena's walking behind the panther.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. My immediate instinct when I see Selena is to yell, Mick, what is that?
I want to yell, but I don't know if I want to startle it either.
Yeah. Just in case, let's go over.
Selena, what's your panther doing? Since you're deciding this
I realize that the panther is causing like a little bit of chaos, and I say, Ceres, here. And I motion it to just come right by like the side of my leg.
It just stops for a moment as you kind of walk up next to it, and it just kind of lowers its head straight down as it just kind of stands there motionless.
Did you see that, Mick?
It seems like. Would we have noticed that she called to it?
It looked like she, from about 100 feet away, probably not so much, but it looked like she made a hand motion, and then the panther kind of stopped moving, and then as she walked up beside it, it just...
She
stands
definitely
there.
doesn't look like in danger.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
I still approach with caution. Very
Yeah, we
slowly.
kind of like slowly walk over.
Yeah. Still kind of on edge, ready to defend myself if I need to.
Okay.
I'm like, Selena?
I just look at them and I say, don't reach for your weapons. Don't this. And I just like reach down and I put my hand on like the back of on top of the panther's head. This is Ceres. He's with me now.
How did it come to be?
Sorry, I didn't hear you.
How did it come to be? With
I found myself lost in the forest, and I found myself going into this state of just kind of at peace, and it came from the forest, and I feel like I have this connection to it that I just can't even explain. And I look down and I kind of give like a little smile, like the first smile that you've seen me make in like a really long time.
I glance at Asher with like a ease of confidence, just like a weight's been lifted. It's one more thing that we don't have to worry about.
Would we know from being around here? Are panthers common in the forests around here?
You might hear stories now and again, but nothing that stands out.
Okay.
They're not abundant.
Right.
Does the panther to us look like a normal panther, or is it?
It seems like a very large. I mean, like a panther
it's
just
a
on the
a
larger
large
end.
cat.
Yeah.
Okay. Like the eyes aren't glowing or anything like that, right?
No, it looks like a regular panther just in the middle of a town.
Still kind of weird.
That's really impressive, Selena. Have you had pets like this before?
I give a little chuckle. No, not at all. I look down. I'm like, so sit.
The panther just kind of looks up at you and then just kind of plops down.
Well, and I just look at him like.
I look
Wow.
at Asher. I look at Asher with a furrowed brow, like curious. Like I look back to Selena. Can he do any tricks?
And I look at Mick. I'm like, Mick, can you step away from Asher? Can you just stand as tall as you can, Mick?
No, but
Yeah, do it.
but
No,
Asher
do
can.
it. It's okay. I'll stand back.
I grab him and try to push him in front of me. I remember what happened last time somebody jumped.
Okay, fine. I'll do it. Cross my arms.
I go hide behind Aegis.
I move my hand from Saris, and I just say jump, and try
Go ahead
to
and roll a dexterity check. This is gonna be for him. just roll a 1d20 and I'll add the dex for it. Just +2.
Okay.
Asher may catch a big kitty.
I want him to jump over Asher. Okay, let's see. Just roll.
Just roll a 1d20, then it's +2 on that. Okay, so 14. Asher, you watch as Sarah's kind of sits there and shifts for a moment, and then just starts bounding towards you. You see its paws. Despite its heavy mass, you don't hear much of the sound. Just very graceful. As it comes towards you, it just launches over, and you kind of just you feel a little bit of air rush past your face as it goes soaring over you. As it lands, it very gracefully lands for a moment and turns and whips around and begins to kind of slowly paw its way back towards Selena.
Wow.
It just looks at you as it passes by. Kind of lets out a.
I come back into sight from behind Aegis. Guess it's not as scary when you can see it.
It looks like we've got another member of the group then.
Definitely gonna need it too.
Yeah.
I like him a lot, and I'm kind of just smiling down at Saris, and just like saying, I hope Saris, one day we'll teach you more tricks. Just kind of just talking to it.
It just kind of just cocks its head for a moment and just kind of moves about, begins to kind of pat its paws a little bit on the ground.
I just look back at Selena and just say again, we still really don't know each other that well, do we?
I look back and I say, not at all.
Jordan kind of
Not
leans
at all.
over next to Aegis and goes, "Is this normal for you, Gull?"
I have no idea.
Fair enough.
I'm still hungry. Are you guys hungry?
No.
Yes, yes. So hopefully I can find.
Come on,
find
Kettle. You can watch.
Sure. Let's go.
I turn and head back towards my parents' place, I guess, if there was food there.
Yeah, Jordan just stops and watches as you all pass, paying very precise notice towards the large black cat that now sits among you. Leading inside, once again, yeah, the food awaits you. A little bit cold now, but Jordan, one moment. I'll make another or two plates. One moment. You see him as he heads around the corner, back towards kind of where your kitchen was at. Athena, one thing, by the way, you control, like, everything about the Panther. Its attitude, decisions, everything.
Mm. Okay.
Fuck.
Mm.
But if you unconscious, then its normal state takes over. So, I mean, like, so it's not gonna like turn feral, but you know,
It's a bloodthirsty wild
it
animal
just turns
state.
and kills Selena. It's like, tell me to jump over someone again, mother.
So are we all kind of like sitting around the table now?
Yeah,
or
at this
what?
point, it's just we were just sitting inside your parents' home. Jordan has made another. We've got this chunk of meat. He just threw it at Saris. Is that what he eats? Is he a vegetarian? I don't know what it is with you elves.
No. Me, he can have it.
He kind of just cocks an eyebrow and goes back to his own meal.
So, how are you holding up, Asher?
I'm just kind of like head down, eating the rest of my food. I just kind of say, I'm fine.
I look at Selena and just shake my head no.
After,
Well,
go ahead.
no, you go.
No, I insist.
Well,
RP first, guys. RP first.
Bingo.
Mick, did what happened when I left? I haven't seen you guys for a little bit.
We got back to town and I look at Asher first, and then I look back to Selena. Kind of just let the night speak for itself. Asher, I don't know how to say this, but she's gone, and words can't make that better. Is there something you would like to do?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we need to find him.
That's a given, but I meant for your mother. I mean, she was basically my mother too.
No. No. Just keep eating my food.
All right.
I look to, is Jordan with us?
Oh yeah, he's just kind of sat away from you for 5 now. Just kind of minding his own business.
I look over to Jordan. How about you?
Well, you don't want to hear what I have to say. Aegis, tell me about your
Yes.
creator. I've heard Thodoro talk about this. Tell me about him. Who was he? What happened?
He was one of the greatest minds in the world, and sadly he was killed by some organization that I've been trying to track down.
Jordan just holds a
and
hand
gain
up
information
for a
on.
moment and just... I was hoping that was going to be more positive. Does anybody
No.
have any good news?
I hold up a finger, telling Jordan to hold on, and I looked at Aegis. Do you experience sad?
Jordan kind of looks at him as well and kind of just leans onto his fist.
I experience it in my own way. I don't understand it in the same way that you might, but I do feel an emptiness where my master once was.
Can you point to where that emptiness is?
I give you kind of a confused look. Like, I just point at my head.
Do you feel pain?
Yes. Although I think it's different than what you might feel.
How would you describe it?
It hurts.
Works for me.
I go back to eating, just confused even more than when we started.
Of no help.
Can Saris just go and start like inspecting Kettle?
You should watch. You all watch as this panther stands up from what it was like, and I was eating before, and just kind of shakes a little bit. Some of the dirt falls off, and he begins to slowly paw over around the fire, and just goes up to Aegis and kind of begins a sniff and kind of like a couple licks against your like leg plate armor.
As I see it walk up and start sniffing at me, I lean down and start doing that back to it. As much as I can sniff, I like.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm like, does he have a nose?
All you
Like,
hear is like
no.
you hear kind of like that deep robotic breathing,
just-
like that.
Yeah.
This weird kind of odd sound, kind of robotic just sound. Cat just kind of looks up and kind of scrunches down for a moment as it flinches each time you do that.
And I just each time it moves, I try and like mirror its movement as best I can.
You just watch as like both of
Trying
them are
to
just kind of
study this
jerking like
thing.
this, just back and forth, like this kind of weird like rooster fight going on. At this point, Jordan just actually just stopped eating altogether and just kind of like lowered his fork down and just. Well, Asha, I know this is not something you'd want to hear, but
I finish eating my food. I slide my plate forward, and I interrupt him, and I just say, "I'm going to see Theron."
by
And I
all
just
means,
leave.
okay.
I want to get up with him and start walking with him.
All right.
I turn around to you, and I just say, "No, I'm okay."
I'm like,
And I turn, and I just go.
I just stop at the doorway.
Fuck that! I would have called Sarah's. See what says back.
Saris, hunt.
Yeah.
He watches the panther turns around and begins to kind of trot towards the door and it kind of slips past you, Selena, and starts heading towards Asher.
Stop, Saris.
He kind of just stops in tracks and looks back for a moment and just looks back towards Asher. He just looks back towards you again.
Just come back.
After Saris walks away from me, I'm gonna look back at the people who are still at the table. You were asking about more positive news, and while this isn't super positive, but given last night's events, I have added a new spell to my spell book that might help prevent similar tragedy. Moving
New
forward.
software.
New software, yeah.
Update.
Every day I wake
What
up,
did you download off internet? Like,
you wouldn't download a spell, would you?
Hey, did you have any mobile games?
yikes!
Good God. He plays
You
Fortnite
can
if you would like
paywall.
turn him around.
Windows
What
update.
And I pull out my spell book, which is probably the first time you guys have really seen it. Is like this large leather-bound tome that seems heavily damaged by fire. Like many of the pages look like that they've been burnt out, and I open it to like the first non-burned page, and I kind of turn it around on the table, and I point at it. This one, should people fall, I might be able to prevent them from dying on impact.
You watch as Jordan just slowly turns his head towards you and just stares for a moment. And just kind of goes back to eating.
I read it and look at him. A little late for that.
Yes. And if looking at the spellbook, you see at the top of the page a list of names that includes the people who died last night.
Yeah, Mick, you see that there's Elia, Revel, all the different names from last night.
In addition to a few that you don't recognize.
While looking at the book, I inquire, what happened to it? Why is it so charred? And then I continue to like read the names to myself.
This was my master's spellbook. I recovered. It was all that remained of him, and I took it as a remembrance of him.
Do you mind if I look at it?
I suppose so. And I push it like closer to you.
I pick it up and carefully sift through the pages. Is there anything that I would notice that could be of use, or
Looking at the
things
pages,
that I
one of the
might-
sigils that you see at the top is kind of like looking through some of the book. You see that there is the Dark Skull symbol or sigil.
I point to? What does this mean to you?
That is the symbol I found when my master's tower was destroyed. I believe whoever made it is responsible for him and my sibling's death.
Would Jordan hear that?
Yeah, he's just looking up at you guys right now, just listening.
I look up from the book. Apparently, it affects others too. And go back to flipping through it. Would I notice like any spells that he can use, or any specific things that?
I mean, you see inscriptions, things like that, but some of it's just kind of gibberish. Some of your knowledge in sorcery or arcana, some of it kind of gives you clues into different spells. Some of them look like they're probably hot, like it requires a vast amount of experience and knowledge to be able to comprehend its use or its purpose or the way, like, the incantation behind it and things of the sort. Some of the pages are just unused.
I close the book and slide it back to Aegis.
I collect it,
Thank
put
you.
it back in my bag.
Thank you. I saw you wrote the names of the fallen from last night. I know you don't really experience it the same way, but it means a lot that you remember.
They are the names of the people that I failed to protect. And I do my best to not have to add to that list.
Hopefully, we don't have to add any more to that list.
Hopefully.
I finally finish eating.
At this point, it's kind of just cold by the end of it. Jordan just kind of leans forward. He kind of puts his elbow under his knee and begins to kind of stroke his chin. Asha didn't want to hear this, and I suppose neither do you. But all I request is that if you find Otwin, kill him. Do not spare him. Do not try to find the goodness in your hearts. I don't believe that you would, but for the sake of it.
At this
Just-
point, I turn around and I say, where can we find him?
Unfortunately, I believe that he will find you first. He's cunning, to say the very least. Our history goes quite a bit back, and he was once a friend of the family's, but now remains, especially now, its biggest threat.
What else can you tell us about him? I want to know everything I know, or I want to know everything I can about him.
He takes
Anything in
a
particular that can help us?
He takes a stick and kind of begins to poke it to the fire. The sparks kind of crackle into the air and kind of lick the top of the roof, kind of dancing off. Mick, I never told you and Asha about Otwin. It didn't seem important. But as I told Asha last night before he cut me off, I believed he served Tylo Thane, the king, but apparently he has other goals. We always kept him at arm's reach. His lack of empathy was cause for concern, but nothing of great concern. Some people just have that nature about them. Sometimes it's helpful. But he never does anything accidentally in my time knowing him. Everything is purposeful and on point. When Asha was young, we were living in Beirut for a short time. The family's prayer was done in secrecy. The Thanes did not care for that. At least for prayer. His mother, Alia, was a cleric and a damn good one. But one night he sold us out. They overwhelmed us in the night and ripped her from my very grasp. The only target was her. She never spoke of what they did that night, but whatever they did, they severed her connection with Moradin. For years, tears were of the norm. Every morning she wept, looking up to the sky by the forge, just hoping, praying for some contact. So I think
No.
when Asha
Nope.
he pauses, what?
I think it's actually working to our advantage that Asher stayed put last night.
I think so as well. Haley was so proud of him when he found the light, found Morden's connection. I was never graced with such a thing, but she was so proud of him. She was able to continue what she had, and while she was able to heal others with herbs and medicine, she never could do as much as she had hoped.
Does she have, or do you have anything written by her to Asher, or anything about him that she's written about him in writing that's here?
I can't say. Perhaps I could check her tomes within her station, but everything was always spoken. They were always closer. I mean, he and I were close, but not the way she and him were.
If you could check, that'd be really, really good.
By all means. Asher, as you leave the house after a short while, you're able to find Theron within the same cell before. Again, he has a mug of ale in his hand, and looks like he's kind of scribbling out some plans for a sort of weapon of sorts. And he has a couple of mechanisms going on, but he's just kind of scribbling and making adjustments, and he's kind of cursing underneath his breath as he begins to kind of scribble through some other parts and flip a page.
Sure. I just say, Theron.
Huh? Ha! What is it?
Can we go to the forge?
By all means. Lead the way.
I just turn and start heading towards the town forge area.
As he kind of walks by, holy hell, what's the matter with you?
Nothing. I just wanted to go to the forge.
He kind of struts past you a little bit. Asha, I care very deeply about you, but if you cry into my metal, we're gonna have some problems. He kind of looks back in his coffee with a little quaint smile.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
After 10 or 15 minutes, you were able to walk down the large kind of gravel path into the quarry once again. The forge has a little bit of smoke coming from it, from previous days forging. The coals are dim, but he walks over and kind of with his one arm just pushed straight down onto the billow, and a small flame just kind of erupts out of the forge.
Sure. I take my warhammer out and kind of look at it. And is there anybody else like around?
No, he's the only one there. You, the previous day, had seen one of the other dwarves kind of coming from that area, but
Okay, I just say to him, Therodin, even with this, I couldn't save her.
he looks back towards the town, and you see as it looks like he's piecing things together. You can't always save the ones you love. I know that is rough to hear, not what you want to hear. I can't say that I'm the kindest or smoothest individual when it comes to feelings. But death is inevitable. If you sit there and dwell on it, you're not going to be an effective cleric. As a man of Morden, look forward to the ones you can save. And do that.
If I can't save the ones that I love, then what's the point?
Mistakes happen. You can't protect everyone. Just because you love someone doesn't make them immune to death. Your father will die one day. You'll die one day. I'll die. Well, He kind of begins to twirl one of his hammers in his hands.
Do you still trust my father?
I have known Jordan for many years. And there's one thing I can say is that he's a trustworthy man. He does what's best for the people. Not always best for himself or best for one, but he will keep us safe. As best as he can. And if you lose faith in him, that'll crush him.
He's not the man I thought.
How so?
He didn't do anything. He just stood there. He did nothing.
Is that your emotions telling you that? I don't know
That's
what
I saw.
I don't know what happened up there. But I know that man loved his wife very much. Elia was the love of his life. Numerous times he offered his life up just to protect her. Of course, you know, he didn't pass. Blessings upon that. But grief and fear can frighten people. Can bring them to a moment where they can't move, they freeze. You can't fault him for that moment.
I want to be better than my father.
Then work for it. Don't dwell on the past. Otwin is a cold son of a bitch. Of all the people to run into, that was one of the worst.
How do I stop him?
Solid hammer to the head should do it. Until then, without as much information as location, you can't do much. Take the time. Fight. Train. Fight Karad. He's an asshole.
Is there anybody in town that can teach me how to fight better?
Karad. Karad, being, you've met him before, is his forge assistant primarily, the other dwarf from the Stormax. So Karad Stormax. Little on the insane side, but should do the trick. Just don't comment about his. You'll see it. It's new. Don't comment on it. He might actually kill you.
Thanks, Theron.
Of course. And don't cry around me again.
I'll try my best.
He kind of goes back and starts messing with some of the stuff in the forge. To the rest of you, wait. So Asher, are you staying there, or are you returning to town?
I'm staying there because I'm gonna do my prayers and my
Okay.
my
The rest
beginning of the day prep.
As you finish up your meal, Zorn kind of bows his head and throws some of the stuff into the fire and gets up and walks out. Outside, a little bit more kind of noise begins to arise. It seems that people have now left the cellar and are trying to kind of inhabit their town once again. You kind of see a couple people walk past, but that's from where you're sitting. That's about all you can see.
There's life. It's good to see life flourish. Even what little amount there is. We need some happiness.
Honestly, forgot what it was like here. It was always somewhere I didn't belong, unless I was in this very household.
Do you want to go back to your parents' house again?
It wouldn't hurt, but
Oh no!
Bravo, Husky, bravo.
The timing.
what did he say?
He yells,
Oh,
"Oh no!"
It was actually-
Well, that's not foreshadowing. I don't know what is.
I can't hear it because like my
Yeah.
speakers are bumped way the fuck up, so
Yeah.
I don't have to hear it. But oh no, I'm gonna have to go back and watch that shit. I turned to Selena. Are you sure? You remember what happened last time?
I'm sure. I am.
We head to my parents' house.
Walking through the town, you
Oh,
definitely
what's
see
left?
that there are more ages. I assume that you're following.
Yeah.
Walking through town, Nick, you see some familiar faces. It seems that everyone's actually out and a little bit more happy. Some people you'd seen before that you guys were able to free are now kind of crowded around with local celebrities. As people are, asking them, what captivity was like, what they saw, just caring for them. People are handing them things. Some people are headed towards the tavern that you had seen many times before, and Ben and yourself. As you kind of walk past, some people nod their heads and some of them bow their heads at you. Several of the people, the quote-unquote local celebrities, smile and, again, bow their heads towards you. A couple kids run up and kind of grab the leg of Aegis, and as he kind of walks, they're kind of like shifting with him as they're holding onto his leg, and they kind of jump off as their parents are yanking them away from him. After about 5 to 10 minutes, you're able to make your way to the kind of outskirts of town towards the rundown and broken home that you once saw.
Is the appearance and everything still the same as we last saw?
Walking up to it, the house itself, yes, but the large hole that was in the center of the floor is now gone. The floor dips down. There's some wooden kind of planks that match the rest of everything, but the hole itself is gone.
Are you seeing this?
This can't be possible.
There's no way. I take a couple steps closer, and I still want Ceres like behind me because I don't want anything to happen to Ceres. I'm very protective of Ceres, so he's kind of like just like peeking his head, like I'm trying to see like what the heck
Yeah.
I'm looking over. How do I make this? This is something I've never dealt with. What?
Where someone's messing with me for fun.
They're messing with you for fun, and they slammed me against a tree. I want to meet this person too.
Have some fun of our own.
Mm,
Aegis, have you seen anything like this in your travels? I don't even know what to call them. How old are you?
I am 9.
uh, you're 9?
Sorry, I'm not here.
Yeah.
9 what? 9 years,
Years
old?
old.
And what is this?
Is that unusual?
It's
Well-
not
Unusual.
normal. Yeah,
Hmm.
it's pretty weird.
It's
Oh.
how have we not asked him this before?
He's a robot. It would never come up.
You've only known me for like 2 days.
Wait, when's your birthday?
Do you have a birthday?
I wasn't born, so
Wasn't that funny, Husky? Fuck.
no.
What? Okay.
What's your first memory?
My master speaking to me.
What'd he say?
He said, Aegis, my protector, my guardian, as he welcomed me to life.
So like a birthday.
I
Day of your
suppose,
birth.
but I wasn't born. I was created.
Well,
Hmm.
do you remember the day you were created?
Yes.
9 months after that shall be your birthday.
Okay.
I'm not here.
I don't understand, but
I'm not here.
You know, at 9, I don't expect you to understand.
Have you heard? I've ever told you about the bolts and the
You
screws.
see, when two robots love each other, there we go.
They build another robot.
Yeah, can you
Wait,
imagine?
you guys see- you
just
guys-
two robots are in love and they just like Lincoln Log, like put
Yeah,
a
you
robot
seen the
together.
movie Robots, right?
Stop!
No, the movie Robots. They actually do that. They just build a robot. They get a box and they just build a robot.
That's actually great.
Jesus.
Wow. The more you know.
It has your eyes, man. It has your eyes. All right,
Mm-mm.
9 though.
Well-
It's crazy. All right. back to
The house remains in the center of it. Seems relatively new. This kind of it's not like it's been rebuilt, but the wood itself compared to the round, even though it's still kind of sunken down a little bit, the wood itself seems a little bit more new.
Is there like any? Is there like an aura of anything? Like, does it anything feel like weird, or other than the
How
fact
close
that
are you?
it's similar to the place where we threw the rocks the first time, or I threw the rocks.
Jesus Christ! Hit the wrong button. That's fine.
See, I don't know if it's you or if it's Husky now, and it's freaking me out.
He's just playing the piano inside the.
He's just over in my corner, just. Bam, bam, bam. What are you doing?
Jesus.
Can I have Saris smell the area to see if it can catch a scent?
He smells the air. Doesn't.
Like, there's nothing.
There's nothing
I
seems to
can-
alert him now.
Come on, Saris.
As they're kind of like looking at the house and stuff, I'm gonna begin ritual casting detect magic to see if there's any magic. There wasn't last time, but there might be this time.
Detecting magic.
Good.
After a short
Takes me
while,
10
you identified like the two beside you, as well as the some of the equipment on you is magic. And then you feel a great presence coming from directly in front of you at the house.
Okay. Can I tell what kind of magic it is?
No, actually.
Okay.
It seems unusual in the sense that you've gone through the different schools of magic. You were brought through this through your master, but something about this seems vastly different.
It's coming from where the hole.
Yeah, where the
Was?
hole was.
Okay. I'm gonna turn to Selena and Mick. There is a great source of magic here, but I'm unable to tell what kind of magic it is, which is unusual.
Can I want to take something around the house and just toss it where he says like
What are you
the
throwing?
magic is. What's around me?
There's rocks, sticks.
Nick.
There's
Mick.
there's like I mean there's a
I
rotting
resist
fence
with my
post.
entire
There's there's old like fence posts. There's leaves. I mean,
I want to take a old fence post. Just chuck it.
okay.
Disregard for the new looking house, thanks.
Sorry, you know what? It is what it is.
You watch as Selena walks over and grabs one of the fence posts. It's kind of rotting, kind of breaks as part of your touch. He's gonna hate that he walked away. As you throw it into this aura, you see it as it turns to brand new and clunks into the center and then disappears. You see as it reverse rots, as it becomes new. And you hear it thump thump and fades away.
I've never seen that in my life. Curious, I take off my bow slowly and contemplate.
Roll for contemplate.
I
You
want
don't.
to. I turn to Aegis. Kettle?
Yes.
While she's doing that, I take my
Can't-
dagger and chuck that through, or chuck that at the area.
You take your dagger, you kind of catch it in one hand, throw it in. The wood that was inlaid into the handle begins to sprout leaves. You see as the metal itself kind of turns into an unforged state, as it begins to turn back into stone. You see flecks of metal, and as it flies through to the opposite side, you see it passes through, and right before it reaches the end of it, it just fades. And on the opposite side, you see chunks of just different materials break out into the grass.
Okay, that was weird.
What if
This is unlike anything I've ever seen.
Aegis? You should touch it.
No, don't
I-
touch it.
You should
Don't
touch it.
think I should touch it.
Don't
No?
touch it. Did you
This-
just see what happened to the dagger?
You don't have to, just like your pinky. Just touch it.
It
I only have 3
Undid the
fingers.
process of
Which one
making
is my
a
pinky?
dagger.
Okay, you're right. We need Kettle.
Just willing to throw him away just like that.
I'm not telling
has
him
a
to
name,
jump
you
through
know.
it. Okay. Aegis.
I just don't know what this means or where it would come from.
As you stand there through the sphere, but only inside of like kind of this aura around you, it seems like the patch of this is circular. You see as these shimmering figures kind of walk through from right to left and kind of keep stuttering, just going through like back and forth. They're walking together, like one beside the other as they walk through, and as they kind of reach the other end, it just strobes, and you see the exact same figures going through.
Would I recognize any of these figures, or
No,
as like?
you do not.
Hey, Mick, do you recognize these? These?
I assume same for me.
You recognize them as your parents. They seem much
Mick?
younger than you've than
Know how to say this, but it's my parents. And I
What?
start to walk closer to it.
No,
I'm gonna-
I grab
Yeah,
him.
I'm gonna grab Mick. On
You
the
feel two
shoulder.
hands kind of hold you back. You see as the figures are walking, one of them turns and reaches down, and it looks like as they kind of reach down towards you, a table kind of materializes. It still shimmers, almost like sand in the wind, as you see this kind of like orange haze begin to kind of shift through and wave. And they reach down, one of them kind of grabs a book and then turns and begins to laugh. They close it and set it down. They kind of walk through, and this repeats a few times. Eventually, they just fade away. And
Would I recognize this as like a memory or something that's already happened?
I mean, not for you. No, it doesn't look like it's a memory. You recognize it as the table that was once there. There was that same layout inside your home, but it's not something that you experience necessarily.
This
Mick, it
seems
looks like
like-
it's trying to get you. It's trying to just lure you in.
or it's some kind of like temporal portal thing,
It's
because
Almo-
that would
it's almost as
explain
if-
why things would go back to their base components when going through it.
it's almost as if it's reverting back what happened.
Can I just toss a stone through it?
You take a rock and throw it through, and doesn't look like it changes at all.
Is there any any books that have been like torn, or anything that I can well, actually, the book that's in the mirage, can I look about the house to see if there's anything that resembles it?
Everything in the past, 20 some years has rotted away. The only thing that remains is some rotting wood and some old stone.
I pick up the rotting wood and I hold one side of it and like push part of it through, but still hang on to one end. Would that like cause me to put my hand in, or is it?
You're
enough
putting
to
what
get right?
like a what through?
Like if I take some of that rotting wood and I like grab it and put it part of it through, but hold on to
Yeah,
the end.
you see
will
as you push this, you grab another kind of fence post that's been rotted, and you grab part of it and you begin to throw it through. As it begins to push through, you see it become newer, and like you see as the rotting reverses. The end you still hold onto is rotted, and as the end of it just keeps going, and then it begins to sprout some twigs and leaves. Eventually, it just begins to shrink down and fade away into nothing.
It's almost like it ages,
It
But
it reverts.
reverts until it becomes nothing. Trying to think of how we can apply this to something of mean.
Can I want to take another piece of like wood,
Mhm.
and when I put it through and I see that it turns to brand new, I want to try and pull it out.
As you pull it out, you have a half brand new fence post.
Huh.
So
So it ages in reverse until it ceases to exist. But we can stop it if we pull it out.
maybe if we, okay, this might be a little crazy, but Aegis, you have that book, right? That's mostly burnt.
Yes.
What if we open the book and to a certain page and stick half of it, or like the very last page of the book, if it's like charred, stick it through the mirage and then pull it back out and see if it kind of reverts it.
I turned to him. Are you willing to try it? I know that book means a lot to you.
I know. That's why I want to ask.
I can try it. I'll try it on one of the last pages that has no text on it.
All right, so how are you putting it into this?
So like folding the covers back together and just having like one page stick out.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And then I'm just gonna like
Which part of the page is burnt? And so you're putting it in kind of long ways.
What?
You're putting it in like long ways, correct?
Yeah.
Or just like a corner.
I assume he's
I'm putting it.
I assume he's like, if this
Yeah.
is the binding of the book.
Yeah.
I assume he's gonna go like this and
Yeah.
like fan it.
Yeah.
And then like put this part through.
And you're putting the full page in? I just need to make sure.
I'm
No,
doing
like-
it like this. It's
like
like
half the page.
this.
Okay. As you
I
put
want to do just this much.
okay.
Oh my god, your notes.
As you put take the
Yeah, I need to
page and you
figure
push
it
it through the ore, you kind of see a shimmer. And the part that was burnt, so no part of the page becomes affected except for the burnt part. You see that begins to fix it slowly, and then you see the rest of the page. Any part that's inside of that, all of it just begins to kind of fall apart and fade. It's almost kind of this white dust of like the different pressed together fibers begin to fall apart. It's all rather rapid.
Okay. As soon as it starts falling apart, I'm gonna pull the book out.
Okay.
It repaired the burn damage, but anything that might have been on the page wasn't restored.
That's
Is there anything in the book that
Actually, hon, Aegis, go ahead and roll a perception check.
I'm very bad at these.
you can do it. I believe
please be a smart robot?
he's a smart robot.
I'm a
in
very
a
smart robot.
split
I'm not a
instance,
perceptive robot.
in like a split fraction of a second, while the burning was fading, you saw a little bit of writing before it all deteriorated.
Oh, okay. So it looks like the text was restored, but it was too short-lived.
Was it text that you recognized? Like it's for sure like written from like your book?
It was for sure written out, but I'm not unsure of what it said.
Oh god, I don't know what to do. I really don't know what to do. This is every time we come back here, it's something else. Whether it be a mysterious blob or a magic portal.
While detect magic was up, could I see a like endpoint? Like how big is this?
It's about 30 feet across, circular, goes around.
Okay.
A little bit bigger than the hole was that you guys last saw.
Well, if we leave, this thing might go away. So should one of us just go and grab Asher?
I don't know if he's gonna be able to help at all.
Well, we could have some input because right now I have no idea what we should do.
You watch as a
Would I know
bird
if-
kind of it flies through and straight into this. As it flies through, you see it slowly just kind of turn into a small baby chick, and then you watch as an egg just slams into the ground and splats.
Wow.
That could have been.
I'm glad you guys held me back.
Yeah.
I was gonna say that.
I think at the very least we should have someone stay here to ensure that no one else goes through this.
Would I know of anybody in town that might have a better idea of what this is?
Yeah, the local fucky house director. Not really, no. The only person that
There's no,
you've
like-
spoken with has any semblance of the kind of magic stuff would be Sorrow, but I mean, last you spoke
Okay.
to him.
He told me to stay away. Hard to forget.
Do you think it would be beneficial if I send Saris to get? No, never mind. It would cause a little bit too much panic when everyone's trying to get comfortable
If
in
you
town.
let him roam around alone,
There's
remember what
nothing
happened
wrong.
Remember what happened when you came into town?
I'm
People
just
screaming.
Oh, but look at him! And
You watch as he just kind of falls over and just kind of like smiles, purring. Just
look at him. He's so friendly.
I look
kind
at
of
him.
like rubs his back along the
But he-
grass on his, just kind of moving about.
But is he gonna act like that when you're not here?
Saris, be serious.
He kind of just prompts up and just sits still, and then kind of like from a moment just kind of looks at you, and you see his tail kind of wag, like just kind of go up in the air a little bit.
Oh, he's such a good. He's
He's well behaved, but I don't trust it.
Okay, well, you know what? I don't trust you. No, I'm just kidding. I'm gonna go to. I'll go and get him. I'll go and get Asher and bring him here.
Sounds good.
And I just
Who
walk
needs to
through
see
here.
this?
He does.
For brevity, while they were doing their science experiments, could I have gone and found
Yeah.
this guy and trained with him for a bit?
Yeah, so Kurid Karid, was pretty much up. You passed him when you're walking down, and quickly able to find him as he is a man of few interests and will simply like he's the type of guy you'll find him like punching a tree. Very tough, dumb dwarf. So during this time, you just
Launch that tree.
you just probably
Punch trees with him.
Yeah, you probably. Yeah, there's a montage going on. It's just images flash, and you see like Kugo's just getting stronger. His muscles just You spend probably about an hour or so training with him, and you leave with a few scrapes and bruises as he's just correcting you. He hits you in the leg, like tries to straighten you up, hits you in the shoulder, like keeps trying to straighten you up. And the entire time he's just kind of like eye twitching, doesn't say many words other than like the occasional scream of just intensity.
I feel nothing. My emotion just carries me through the pain of the training. And I punch trees until I go numb. And then I thank him.
Your knuckles are bloodied.
Yeah. And I walk towards town,
Walking
instinctively
into
looking for my group.
Yeah, walking into town, you kind of find a few more people. The town feels a little more alive. It seems that just the happiness is definitely kind of swept over as the good news of just the return of the various captives has spread. Walking through, you see Selena. You see the kind of green robed elf with long black hair kind of making her way through the crowd. And several people you see that are kind of like bowing their heads to her just out of thanks.
Do I see a panther?
You do not.
Oh.
Wait, you're leaving him with Mick, right? Or are you taking him? You can take a.
I thought I was gonna take him. With
Oh yeah,
me.
by all means, yeah. You see a panther, and you see a few people that are kind of just keeping their distance, but still kind of bow their heads as they're like it looks kind of taking their kids and they're moving away. As the panther pays no mind, just kind of occasional look around, just kind of looking at people. But
If I see the panther, I kind of like hurry my step a little bit, and I'm just like, Selena.
You need to come now. There's something
what's
at
the
Mick's
matter?
house. There's something at Mick's house, and I just go and start jogging the other way.
Okay, I chase her.
yeah, you're batting the old house. Before you see what they saw is that part of this, you see kind of this faint shimmer of this aura kind of going around a kind of a hemisphere. The floor itself is a little bit newer, but nothing stands out too much.
And do I see the rest of the party too?
Yeah.
Okay. Just like, what's going on? You're muted. You can't talk anymore. What happened, Mick?
So,
Asher, you thought Kai was magical. Watch this. And I go and grab something and just
What are you
what's
grabbing?
nearby? More. Is there any metal or anything nearby?
There's some rusted metal that was part of kind of the structure. A couple like bound beams were, kind of the brace on that, the brackets.
I grab the rusted metal and I like look at him, and then I just toss it through.
As it goes through, you see it. The rust begins to fade, and as it lands, you kind of see it just break apart, fading to a couple like almost just raw ore.
Gets weirder. Saw my parents.
You saw your parents.
They were laughing and smiling.
I look over to the rest of the group while he's explaining this. What do you guys look like right now?
I am.
Robotic.
I'm just scratching my head like.
Just one specifically looks oddly robotic. The other,
Yeah.
Wow.
it was like, it was a memory. The table from my childhood was there, and they were laughing. And
Is it a portal that goes to the past?
It reverts. It reverts things that were made into its natural and like raw state. So, for example, we took a post, a fence post, and we put it through, and it just disappears as well. It's
eventually goes to the point where it no longer exists, or when it started. A bird accidentally flew through, turned into an egg, and then I point to where the egg is probably broken on the floor.
You see kind of the remnants of a little bit of like liquid, kind of this just damp spot.
I believe you. This is really dangerous.
It is.
We need to
didn't want to leave it
fence this off, rope this off, or something, or let somebody know not to go anywhere near here.
After a moment, you kind of see the floor begin to shimmer a little bit more as the kind of the golden haze that you'd seen before on the table begins to kind of become stronger and stronger as the floor itself begins to wisp away. After a moment, you see the aura begin kind of fading, and then eventually it just disappears. Beneath it,
okay.
a large, instead of a hole, you see a crater that has almost kind of probably goes down about 10 feet or so, filled in with dirt. But the floor is gone, almost like almost like an impact of some sort.
Why is it every time we bring Asher around, stuff changes or goes away?
I promise you, I'm not doing it. I'm not trying to.
Perhaps it was just it's the source of whatever is causing it came to an end. And it had nothing to do with Asher's arrival.
None of us have magic that's strong enough to deal with this right now, I don't think.
My magic
Unless you
wasn't
do.
even able to tell me what this was.
Wow. And you probably know a lot.
I know some.
Let's exercise this house.
What does that mean?
Exercise it.
Exercise.
Get it to work out.
No. Like, say a prayer.
I can do that, I guess. You think that would help?
I mean, it's worth a shot.
Do I remember Sora saying something about how something holy would have to expel the like tendrils and stuff?
Yeah, Sarah had mentioned that something of a great holy nature might alleviate the issue. But he was unsure and didn't have much information on it, as it's something he'd never seen before.
Oh yeah, because that's why you had mentioned like that I should prep a spell or something.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I remember all that from last session. Okay. I mean, I'm not recalling that in character right now. I'm just kneeling down, and I take my cleric book out, I guess.
You watch as
And I open it.
watch as Asher kind of kneel down and he begins to read.
One prayer coming right up.
Asher, as you pray to Morden, you kind of feel this great whelming sense of power, and almost like you guys, the rest of you can almost see this as a kind of gust of air goes straight down over your body, and kind of leaves begin to like, kind of spread out from you.
Oh shit!
And nothing really happens outside of that. Asher, you prayed to your god, and Morden has pretty much looked upon you positively. Nothing else happened.
Okay. I made my hammer swing strong. Did it change?
There's some leaves now in the pit.
No,
No.
I don't know what and why it keeps happening at my parents' house. If anywhere in this town, why here? Why me?
Can I see if there's any like any footprints or anything that would make it seem that someone else was here recently?
Go ahead and roll survival.
Okay. Wait, do I get
Oh, he's going in.
He's hacking. Can you please hack this roll for me and get a nat 20? That'd be great.
Okay, survival. Here we go.
Nice.
You see that looks like probably
Not
about
quite
four.
the hack I was looking for,
You-
but
Recently, it looks like there's probably been about 4 sets of footprints. Something a little bit more agile, kind of nimble. Something with 2 toes, and then 2 kind of more humanoid, like human figures. Were here probably in the last day or so.
There's something, a couple things have been here. I look over and like there's 2 sets of footprints from humans, and then this other 2-toed something was here as well.
Two-toed?
I
Two-toed.
Toad.
raise up one of my feet and I point at my feet like this. And you see that I just have 2 big toes on each foot.
Is it
Like that?
is it like
As you line up your foot over one of the other footprints, you realize that it's your footprints.
It's the same size footprint as my foot. I think it might have
I think
been
it's
us.
ours. It's ours.
Thanks for allowing us to roll for that.
Well, she was looking for it.
I just
This goes
Every
all
time
the
we
way to the
come
top.
It was us.
yeah, up to the tippy toes.
We just don't remember it.
Yeah.
Every time we come back here, I just get more and more confused.
As you guys are standing around, you see someone kind of, you hear a voice from behind you guys. What are y'all doing?
Turn around.
around.
And it was just some townsman kind of person you've seen a couple of times before. He's just kind of like waving. Just kind of shrugs at you guys. Hey, the tavern's open again. Come on.
Open.
I don't
I,
drink.
I want to approach
Sure,
that guy.
sure you do. We taught you how to drink yesterday.
No,
Remember?
he's actually 9 years old. He's not of age.
Oh.
I didn't know that there was
That's
a
not a
drinking
thing.
expertise.
Well, and you can't give a child a drink.
Well, I mean, being
Don't
9
children
as
drink
a
water?
robot is probably different than being 9 as like a
robot
elf or a
years.
human.
Okay. I put my hands up and I'm like, okay. But what are we gonna do with this?
The guys,
So I
you
think
guys
we-
are just, as you guys are all talking about it, he just goes, "Ah," and just continues to walk down.
Is there anything we can do?
I don't think so.
We need to make sure that nobody accidentally goes near it. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Goes
put
near
up a
what? A
sign.
giant crater that we can all see?
Or the house in general.
Is this going to become a regular trip? We come back and there's something new?
Anything
Guys,
possible.
I'm worried. The townspeople seem to be in better spirits, and they say the tavern is opening up.
Well, that's good news, right?
I have a feeling he'll be back.
Well, we'll be waiting for him when he comes back.
We'll get him.
I like you, big guy.
I like you too, Cattle.
Wait, you called him Guy? Because
Yeah.
I come to the realization that he actually like addresses him as like a human instead of it. Okay, nice. All right, you guys want to head out?
We're having a moment here.
Oh, I'm gonna go to the tavern, and I just
They lock eyes from across the room.
I kind of get closer to Kettle, and I look up and I say, so what other magic do you know?
Various kinds. What kind do you want to know?
Like, can
You
you?
wanna take-
If I'm feeling really, if I'm hurt, can you help me?
No. I do
If
not
you want to
have-
hurt other people, can you do that?
Yes.
Good to know. Can you change things, some things, to make them appear like other things?
No.
Can you make sounds?
Some spells make sounds, but no spells that just make sounds.
Can you put me from here over there?
No.
Can you play music?
No.
Can you cook food?
I've never tried.
Poetry?
Also never tried.
We're gonna mission. We'll be back in 10 minutes when this is done.
Let's go get a drink.
Okay.
That's not a question.
We turn and
we-
I kind of pat Kettle on the back and walk.
Let's go
Walk
get a
towards
Pat
drink.
you on the back too.
Walking through the streets, you see that there's quite a congregation of people. Again, people keep a wide kind of berth around Selena as the panther just kind of prowls through, like just its shoulders just moving very just precise. The tavern, in fact, does seem to be open at this point. A general kind of festive tone and music are emanating from the doors and the kind of open windows that sit down, or that sit open.
Who's going in first? Me and Kettle will bring up the rear.
I'll go in
Like
first.
bros.
I'm kind of just lost in thought at this point, just kind of murmuring to myself about the tendrils and the portal rift thingy.
Selena,
and
is Saris with you? I mean, it doesn't matter. I'm just curious.
No. I tell Saris to just kind of like patrol like the outer edge of the town that we're closest to,
The town or the building?
or like not the building because that's gonna freak people out. So I'm just like the town. So not. Are we that far, or how far away would he be from me?
I mean, you're kind of near the center of the town. The town's pretty big. I mean, you're probably probably 200 feet from the edge of town. It's not the main part of the buildings, and then kind of goes into this. There's some trees and tall grass and things of the sort.
I'm gonna have Saris just sit on like by the entrance of like the building of where I am.
Okay. The stairs that lead up, there's kind of these two flat stone, kind of granite slabs, and then the stairs kind of lead up in between those, and he kind of goes and lays down like one of those old statues, you know, that you see in front of like some of the more fancy buildings. He kind of sits there like almost kind of like the Sphinx. He just sits there, just kind of looking around. Some people that were kind of going to the tavern just stop, and some of them kind of just slowly edge their way past, and they're just walking into the tavern. The tavern is alive and well. There's music playing on the backs. There's musicians on the backside of it. There's people being served drinks, and there appears to be some sort of competition in the center table. A long table that sits, and there's large platters of these tall red, kind of. It looks like these red food of some sort. You can't quite make it out what it is necessarily.
I wanna go up to that.
Walking over, there's probably platter after platter of these very massive, kind of red plant organic substance, and it looks like people are biting into them. And you watch as one guy goes, you see him begin to sweat profusely as his eyes are just bloodshot, and he's just. And one of them, you see a bunch of people start clapping, and he's just like starts nodding his head. He's just, oh, I'm good. Next one, and then they bring out. It looks like there's different platters have different colors, kind of ranging from bright green to just deep, just almost say like just like this devilish red. And then it appears to be some sort of heat intensity challenge. And you see these people are slamming down some gold at the other end of the table.
Oh my god! I want to recoup with Asher and Kettle and Mick and all of them before we go like into like the crowd of like the tavern. You guys, Kettle, I mean Aegis,
Yes.
you're gonna enter in this competition for us.
Okay.
Okay.
What's going on?
There
Doing
is
what?
there's like a competition where they lay these different platters of different colors, and it's like spiciness, like heat intensity. I
Like
think.
peppers?
Kinda something like that. And there's people betting on it, and I bet you. And I kind of look over at Aegis, and I look him up and down. I'm like, I bet you he could win it.
I mean, you probably can't taste anything. So, yeah, by all means.
Does Aegis even have a way to consume things?
Oh yeah.
I have a mouth, but it looks more like it's
It's more like a slit that kind of just
Aesthetic.
cuts across.
yeah, it
Aw.
can't actually like open. My face doesn't actually like
There's a-
change.
Picture in chat. There you go.
I could just rub it on my face. Like I did with
I win.
He just shoved it, just smashed
Do I
it
win?
I kind of want him to try.
in the DVD slot of his mouth.
I slide over next to Mick, and I'm just like, Mick, I don't really like this.
Like what?
Just doesn't seem like time to celebrate yet.
People are so distracted so easily. Between Otwin and whatever the hell's going on at my parents' place. I don't even know where to begin.
I guess wherever he's going and whoever he's getting, it's probably going to take him a little bit of time. So maybe it's okay to relax a little bit.
I don't know if I agree with that, but I know I won't be relaxing anytime soon. Plus, food does sound pretty good. You go ahead.
Okay. I'll catch up with you soon.
Sounds good.
Kettle,
I'll-
Yeah,
what kind of ale do you like?
I don't know.
Okay, I'll be right back.
Okay.
I go up to the bar or wherever they're serving alcohol or drinks or whatever.
Yeah. The barkeep has a wide smile across his face. He's talking. He's, oh, the local hero. Thank you for everything you've
no.
done. You saved my daughter. For that, what would you like? It's on me.
Who's your daughter?
Belle. And he kind of points across, and there's this little girl who's probably about 10 years old, who has kind of this little doll.
I kind of gulp and... Yeah, I'm glad she's safe. 4 drinks, please.
He
Ale,
quickly
whatever
turns
you have
around,
ready.
and he just puts 4 different mugs. One of them is different. He just grabbed the kind of ones that he was already pouring and just kind of sets them up. Some of it kind of sloshes out onto the bar top. On the house, by all means. Thank you. Sincerely.
I nod at him and then I kind of bend down to the girl. And I say, hey, if you ever need anything, come find me, okay?
She just kind of grabs your kind of thigh and squeezes once.
I just give her the Asher smile. And then I
A slightly
Turn of
duller
my-
glint.
and I turn and I'm just like, hey guys, And I hand Selena, mug of ale, Mick. Okay, and then I go to Aegis and I hand it up. I'm like, here you go. Okay, now watch me. Okay, so we're gonna try this again, okay? In, and I drink.
Yeah.
I start drinking my ale.
You watch him, yeah. You just see his throat kind of move and shift as he consumes it.
I line it up a bit with my mouth, and but I just still basically just dump it.
It just pours down. And you see it like sift underneath part of kind of where his helmet head is. Kind of goes through some of his workings and begins to pour out along the ground.
Yeah. How is it?
I don't
It's
know.
good, right?
Sure, it's great.
Hey. I'm gonna get him to do this in every tavern, by the way.
Yeah, one of the kind of the bar hands. You kind of seem like what the?
I hope you end up with like a permanent stain that's like, is uneven.
Smells of beer. He's got like an
Beer
infestation.
stain on your yeah. Hell yeah. And I just kind of turn back to Selena. I'm like, so you're gonna eat some peppers?
Oh, I don't know about that. I have a feeling I wouldn't be able to resist that long.
I mean, have you ever tried?
No, have you?
One time I think when I was younger.
All right, if you do it, I'll do it.
It hurt when I peed after,
Okay, I did not need to know that.
but it was worth
Okay.
it.
Really, it was worth that.
Yeah.
Okay, if you do it, I'll do it.
Deal.
As you approach the table, a large burly man who's just kind of arms crossed looks at you. 5 gold per person.
I slide 10 forward, and I'm like, I got it.
Oh my god, I
Thank
lean
you.
over to Dasher. If I win this, you owe me a favor.
A little bit cryptic, but okay.
Okay.
Looking down the
Deal.
table, there are 5 different bowls as the colors change. No one has been eating from the last one at all. And you realize kind of the more you watch that they're moving up levels of intensity. And by the 4th one, usually occasionally one person will make it to that. You see that they just kind of collapse or just start. There's yelling and screaming. We'll run over and just try to down ale or just run out of the building. As you think people kind of begin to cycle through, you both sit down across from each other.
Oh
Man
no.
sits their arms crossed. It just goes
I'm
1 pepper.
I'm stone cold.
right.
I'm stone cold. I'm like
I'm smiling.
All right. So as you bite into the savory crunch of it, you kind of feel the heat a little bit in your mouth. I need you both to roll Constitution saves.
oh god.
This is actually pretty good, Selena.
So
How
yummy.
you liking yours?
It's not that bad.
Selena feels a little bit of a sting, but like the heat just nothing. You kind of feel like as you breathe out, you feel a little bit of the heat.
Oh, wait a minute.
Asher, as you bite, you just.
Wait a minute. Oh,
All right, I'm gonna need.
Oh,
And Asher, I'm gonna
man.
need one more from you.
oh man. This is getting actually kind of hot right now.
You see his eyes. He's like, yeah, it's pretty light.
Oh, are you okay?
You see his eyes kind of
Hold on.
watering.
Hold on, maybe. That's good. It's still hot. No,
Asher,
it's
as you
hot,
just-
actually.
And you stand up and you start just coughing, just the heat, and you're just forced to stand up. And the guy just goes, out, out.
Good luck.
Selena, he guides you.
Good luck.
He points to the next chair over for the next one.
What?
Roll a Constitution save. So as you bite into the next one, it's a little bit redder on this one. You feel the crunch. Some of the kind of juice kind of goes down your mouth. These are very like savory and fresh peppers.
Well, you could say that he didn't last that long, so let's do this.
Is that supposed to mean something? Or?
The heat begins to build in your
Favor
mouth.
later, baby.
I'm gonna need another roll from you. You feel the heat kind of well into the back of your throat. You kind of feel it
I'm
down
looking
in the
around at
presence.
everybody else. I'm just like, no, no.
The heat it's barely just on the. You're able to make it through as your eyes begin to water. Your eyes just kind of twitch a little bit, but you're able to push through it. One of the men in front of you who just goes, he gets up and just go. You hear him start screaming as he runs out. The man behind you again just goes, next chair.
Dear God. Okay. Okay. Do I have like a picture of like, and like near me, or
You should have, I handed you,
You have
one.
a cup. You have a mug of ale that you brought with you.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm like.
You want me to get you another one? Okay. I run over to the,
I'm just
to the
like.
bar and
Okay.
I'll pay him this time, however much he wants for
He
another
just
one.
profusely thanks you and hands you the mug of ale. It's only like a silver.
All right.
Okay.
I rush back and I like
Alright,
put it.
Selena,
next to
go ahead and roll.
like, you're doing great.
Roll a Constitution save.
Keep going.
The heat on this one begins to really. You feel it almost in your chest. Go ahead and roll one more. Your eyes are watering. You see like tears in her eyes, just kind of.
You can do it.
All right, roll. Selena, the heat
You can
just
do it.
overtakes you as you just you get overwhelmed by it. You just feel almost like you're breathing fire as it just begins to just well up.
444966. Holy shit.
Get him out
Those
of the way
rolls,
on
though.
me. Get him out of the way.
You're forced to just stand up out of the chair, and he just motions you on and just waves you away.
Oh God. I just start chugging like the ale that I.
He
just
grabs
gotten.
both the 5 pieces of gold at the very end of the table. He throws onto a pile that's amassed a large amount at this point.
Oh God.
And you see how the people
Wait,
back.
so did you just pound 2 mugs of ale?
I did.
All right. I'm gonna go over to Aegis and I'm gonna be like, your turn, buddy. You think you can eat those peppers? You know how to drink? Do you know how to? You could probably do the same thing to eat. You have
I
like
was
a compartment that you can just open up and throw the pepper in there and.
No.
Are they gonna let you? They might not even let you do this.
I'm gonna approach the pepper table.
As you walk up, the kind of large burly man looks up. Aegis.
I would like to eat peppers.
Is this even a... You can kind of call someone over and he begins to lean into it. Just...
Aegis would like to
And
eat
you hear
peppers.
some whispering, and guys like... You hear them, he's like... You help save the town.
I'm just like,
The guy like looks black, and points at him, and he's just like...
Hey.
He's like pointing like he's like motioning over your full body. There's seems to be arguing back and forth. $5 gold.
And I pull out my my small coin purse and hand it to him.
I raise my empty ale and I'm like, "You go.
He takes the gold.
You can do it."
You hear people next to him like, "Oh wait, why is he allowed to compete? Local hero or something? I mean."
And I sit down and I take a pepper.
And do
and
what
I
with
just-
it? As you
I
you kind of just like
smash
where your mouth was, you just take the pepper and try to like insert it into your seedy disc of the mouth, and it just kind of starts just like peeling out as the part of it goes in. You see like some of the juices and seeds begin to fall down beneath your neck, and you just kind of you feel nothing.
Yeah.
And the guy just shrugs and just next chair.
I move down to the next one and I do it again.
You grab it and it just pushes it into your mouth. You see kind of just more, again, a little bit different colors, seeds and skin of this. As it kind of peels back. And again, some of the chunks kind of go down. You see it kind of drop down into his chest compartment and kind of work its way down. You feel nothing. You do this again for the third and for the fourth chair. At this point, everyone's just like, yes, yes, yeah. And they just start slamming. At this point, you're standing across some kind of sly, kind of more fragile individual, and he's just like, "You think you can beat me, huh? Watch this." He grabs
Hello.
2 of them, and he just puts them and bites them both, and just starts like shaking his head. He sits there. For a moment, he just kind of sits there, and you see him just kind of, and you see his face kind of start to turn red. What are you doing?
I mean, I guess I will take one pepper.
As you slowly
Do
push
the
it
same
into
thing
your
again.
mouth, you see him. He just starts trembling. A speed of sweat begins to drip down his head. He seemed like his knuckles are just white as he grabs the table, almost tearing up part of the wood underneath his fingernails. And as you just, again, chunks of it drop down, he just stands up and goes screaming and starts running, trips, falls, and just trying to clamor for me. And just grabs someone else's like mug of ale and just starts pounding it down. And it's just washing over him, like half of it just falling onto his clothes. You go to the last one. These peppers have almost like horns to them. You see these like spines coming off of them. The man just stands behind you. Last one. He kind of just does this to one of his like cohorts.
And I pick one up and I just repeat the process.
Yeah, you just shove that bitch in, and it just peels. Just you see the seeds. The interior of the juice is just blood red as it drips down. One of them just goes, "Blood! That's one of Fidorov's blood peppers. He just ate it." And then
Yeah,
you
he
see
ate
people
it.
just kind of. And a couple people will start booing, and just there's some confusion, and the guy just kind of grabs a bag and takes the gold and just straight in. Looking through the gold, you have about 75 gold.
I'm just gonna bring it back to the party and set it down.
Yeah, you watch the Agent Quebec has this big old sack of gold and just.
Hey, good job, big guy.
Nice.
You can pay for the next round of drinks.
Okay. I didn't know that I would be getting money for that. I
Well,
thought we were eating for fun.
here we are.
Being distraught in this process, I finally look up from being kind of lost in thought and see this sack of gold on an orc. What did you do?
Looking up, by the way, you see Aegis. It has like shit all over his mouth. You see these juices and seeds just plastered against like from here down. You see it like just falling into his armor. There's like different like orange to red like peels of some sort of vegetable just like hanging off of him.
It's baby food.
Pretty much, yeah. It looks like he got hit. It looks like,
He is 9,
He looks
so
like
9. Yeah.
he looked like he was at a Gallagher like event, you know, just like plastered.
I ate peppers.
You can't eat.
I mean, I watched him do it, Mick. He ate all of them. I just
I
sip my drink some more.
I just
How
did
much-
what I saw other people doing.
Did you have fun at least?
It was fine.
Do you know what fun is?
I don't know.
So, I don't know. That's not an answer. Like, what do you mean you don't know?
I don't know. I don't
Do you
know
know what
if
fun
I know
is?
what
I
fun
don't.
is.
Do you know what fun is? I don't know if I know what fun is. Like,
Do you enjoy stuff?
I don't know.
Doing some things do they make you feel good?
Most
Can you
things don't make
feel
me
good?
feel anything.
what things have made you feel?
Helping people.
How does this make you feel? And I just rub his belly.
Yeah, the lower kind of plate that's kind of separated from like it has like metal like kind of like plates that kind of interwoven with like so you kind of see these wood kind of tendrils going through. Yeah, you're just kind of just rubbing one of the plates.
I just look down. I don't feel that.
Oh, okay.
You have some pepper juices on your hand, by the
Did-
way, now.
I
I've got gauntlets on, but
did eating the peppers make you feel like saving people?
No.
Like this? Did it give you? It didn't give you the same feeling?
I don't
No.
think he feels anything. Could be a good thing.
Do you have fear?
I
Apparently
think
not
so,
after he ate all those
but-
peppers.
But it would be different than yours.
In what way?
It's difficult to explain.
We should probably ease up on the questions. He's only 9, after all. It's had a long day.
Do we
Most
notice
days are
anything?
the same length.
Do I notice anything different in the tavern going on other than
No.
people just?
Everyone's just in a better mood. There's still some somberness to it. It's definitely not, the general happiness that you once remember of Sundal, but it seems that people are just in a better mood. The fact that they're out of the cellar finally, enjoying a little bit of sunlight, and just able to, for once, have a little bit of freedom.
What
Seeing
time
that-
is it?
Yeah, it's a little bit like in the afternoon.
Seeing that kind of irritates me, so I get up. I'm gonna take a step outside and I excuse myself from the table and head outside.
On the outside, you
the tavern.
see as kind of the sable-skinned panther just kind of looks back at you for a moment as you pass by.
I go to reach my hand out, and then I pull it back.
So I
Can,
should go grab my cat for RP-wise.
Please do.
You do it. Can Saris, can Saris lick him?
I mean, yeah, as you walk by, you kind of just see Sarah's kind of reach out and just against your hand.
I cautiously pet his head.
Kind of just offers a small, just faint, as he just purrs a little bit, and it kind of pushes into your hand a little bit, and then goes back to his rather regal state.
I go and sit next to Saris.
Yeah, you're just kind of outside, just kind of sitting on the kind of granite flat top next to the stairs.
Do I notice anything outside? Anything at the town? Is it
People
just-
are
everybody's kind
moving about.
of jovial and
Well, I mean, people moving about. Some of them are kind of a little more upbeat, enjoying the sunlight. Some of the kids are kind of playing in the grass, kind of walking to and fro, but nothing stands out really.
okay. Just kind of taking the surroundings. Keep it to myself.
So the rest of us are still inside, just kind of drinking and
Yes.
kind of just taking deep breaths and just looking around at all the people that are inside and hanging out, and I'm just taking it in. I just look like I'm a little bit lost in thought.
Are there people dancing, or is it just
Not really. While you're sitting there, one of the kind of servers walks up and sets down a mug of ale in front of you, Asher.
Oh,
He just bows his head and just walks off.
thanks, I guess. And I polish off the one I have, I guess, and start drinking the new one.
As you grab the new one, you see a man dive over the counter and smack it out of your hands, and just goes, "Oh, I'm terribly sorry about that. My bad." And just bows his head and returns back over the counter. And you see him kind of just he's kind of pointing and and you see him point over towards a different direction. A short while later, you see the server take a mug of ale and walk over and give one to a man that kind of has some armor on it. Same kind of similar kind of steel armor. Sets it down. And as the man about to drink it, you see the same man hurtle over and almost borderline just kind of slides across the table and grabs the mug onto the ground. And just goes, "Terribly sorry about that." And he ducks and kind of weaves his way back and goes back to the server. And he just kind of smacks him once in the head and points again to there's another direction, kind of similar direction. You see as the server walks back and takes another mug and sets it down in front of this man, and as the guy's about to drink it, the same man sprints across, running across the tables, and just kicks the mug out of, and just as he falls on the ground, just stands up and just walks back to the server. And you see him kind of shove him into the back room.
As soon as I see him do this a couple times, I'm approaching this crazy guy.
It looks like they've just gone back into the kitchen.
I'm just walking right up to this guy as he's he's diving at people's mugs and stuff. I just put my hand on his shoulder and I'm like, "What are you doing?"
Nothing. It's fine. It was just the wrong drink. Don't worry about it. Someone paid for a drink.
Do I recognize who this guy
You've
is?
never seen this guy before in your life. He has a very kind of slender face, kind of sunken eyes, a very narrow eyebrows, kind of just a little bit of like an intense stare, his eyes piercing. And then he's just, don't worry about it, one moment, and kind of peels himself away from you and goes and grabs a server by the kind of scruff of the neck and just shoves him into the back where the kitchen's at. And you hear a little bit of like some commotion and a little bit of shouting.
So if I don't recognize him and he doesn't look like he works here, I'm gonna go. If he's grabbing the server, I'm going back there.
All right, so you're just walking back there, or what are you doing?
Yeah. I'm just walking back there. I'm just like, hey, what are you doing?
As you catch him, he has him like pinned the server. He's like, he just And what can we get for you today? And he kind of just offers a very fake smile, forced smile.
I'm like, who are you?
I'm a man of the tavern.
Like, cross my arms. I'm like, what part of Sundal do you live in?
Second. The eastern part.
Does he just making? Can I tell if he's just?
Oh,
it
looks like he's just very confused. Like he's just borderline doesn't know where the hell he's at.
Can I whistle for Ceres and like start making my way towards you guys?
I mean, you're just sitting kind of in the middle with Aegis, kind of, and you just saw
I wanna get up and like noticing that he hasn't come back, and I just want to whistle for Ceres. Just to come in.
Mick, you see as Ceres kind of stands up and kind of moves past you and starts walking in. Immediately as this panther walks to the door, almost its shoulders filling the door frame, people kind of begin to back up. You see the kind of shuffling of chairs and some of the mugs fall over as people begin to stand up, and kind of a crowd forms kind of this wall of people away from the door as how Ceres walks towards you.
I stand up and just shake my head like, God damn it, now what?
All right, Asher, back to you.
And I slowly follow behind him.
I'm just like, what's your name?
Hassan.
You're not feeling okay, are you?
I can't do this. He kind of shoves this sort of back. The man out there killed my brother, and I'm trying to poison him. He kind of just looks down for a moment. I'm sorry. I'm a terrible liar. Can you help me out?
Yes.
Fantastic. Looks back at the server.
Come with me.
You are terrible. Are you being true to your intentions? I need to know if I'm rolling for something.
I'm just like, yeah, come on, I know a better way to do this. Follow me. I just want to like.
He kind of just knocks his head. All right. Lead the way.
Yeah. I want to lead him to wherever I know like the village leaders are staying, like whatever basement they're in.
He takes his apron off and throws it. You see that he has this long kind of leather coat. As you walk, you kind of hear this clanking of glass. Selena and Mick, actually the rest of you see as Asher kind of pushes his way through the crowd with a man in tow. Kind of a long, kind of black and a little bit grayed hair. Kind of balding in the corners of it. Kind of heavy set, creased face. Or deep set. Yeah, you begin to walk through town. So, thank you very much for the help.
Yeah, sure. Don't mention it.
I mean, he's back there. I mean, he kind of opens his coat and there's just tons of vials in there. One's of just different, like, from like black, purple. I mean, we could just, I feel like it's back there. We're going another way.
Yeah, no,
I really feel like we should be back there.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, that absolutely makes sense. I just thought it would be better if we go explain what you're trying to do to the village, poisoner. Yeah.
Go ahead and roll deception.
I'm not even trying to be.
I feel like that's not a real. I followed him here. Listen, just give me one more chance. And he turns and starts to like sprint.
No, I try to grab him. As soon as
Go ahead and roll a strength check.
Sure.
I assume we're also following in tow.
Yeah.
So if he turns
This
around to
looks
sprint,
really
all-
weird, probably to
all three of
everyone.
us and a panther are like,
I want.
Yeah,
I was
you
about to
guys
say.
are, you guys
like,
are like 40 feet back.
Oh,
Yeah,
it doesn't
you just
matter.
grab him
He's so
and he
strong.
doesn't budge. He just kinda
Yeah.
like, he just locks,
Jesus.
looks back. I'm in trouble, aren't I?
Yeah.
He killed my
I just
brother.
smile.
But he killed my brother. It wasn't justified. He's a
Well,
dick.
why don't you take it to the town leaders?
Because he didn't kill him here. He killed him out by the road.
What?
You aren't
Am
there.
No.
You guys are just kind of like back a distance. You see that he's just talking to this person.
Yeah. Can I walk up to him with like, I want Cyrus like looks like he's about to hunt something. Seeing
Yeah,
the
Sarah just keeps
aggression.
his head very low and just kind of walks slowly, and the man just kind of like does a kind of like shuffle away, just kind of looking down with his hand still, like your hand still on his shoulder. You kind of just being
Yeah.
I would like to leave. I'll just leave. We don't have to take care of this. I can just go.
I'm also
Who is
gonna
this?
approach them.
By all means,
Same.
this seems like it's becoming a bit of an ordeal. I lied. I wasn't trying to kill anybody. I swear.
Wait, is it just
Yeah, party member. We approach, I assume.
Yeah, all of
We're
you
all
are now
here.
here in front of this
Yeah.
guy who stands probably about like
Asher-
5'8". Just
Asher, I thought I told you guys to stay out of trouble. First, you cheat to win the contest. And now
Cheated?
this. What's going on?
and the man just kind of like points his arm and goes, "Oh, see, you do wrong things too. Why am I in trouble?"
Who is this?
Wait, Kettle, we cheated?
Oh, no, you're absolutely fine.
Okay.
I don't know. What do you guys think? He's trying to poison someone.
He killed my
Wait.
brother. I mean, I'm not trying to kill
Who-
anybody.
Wait,
He kind of just looks down
who's
like
your
takes his
brother?
jacket and just kind of. Well, my brother was a remarkable man. He about my build, look, height-ish.
Can I tell that he's lying? Or is this
Like LA
True.
Noir. Go ahead and roll a insight check.
Ooh.
There it
You
is.
probably don't think that you can guess that he's just making his brother up. His name was Roman. That's it.
All right, listen. We're going to have a really nice conversation right now, and you're going to be completely honest.
This feels sarcastic, and I hate it already. But continue.
I won't-
He just kind of looks
I
down at
won't,
the
like,
ground.
I want Cyrus to start like just like hissing, like slowly
there.
softly, and then louder
Okay,
and
just-
louder and louder.
The deep kind of growl coming from Saris, and just hissing. He kind of looks down. He kind of just begins. He's not gonna eat me, is he?
He might.
What?
I don't know.
I don't know.
That seems
Sarah, you hungry?
I want Cyrus to like flicker his tail once you say like hungry.
You see Saris as he just licks his lips. He kind of a big broad tongue, just goes across his lips. Just... You can't,
So
the
what
man
do
just
you-
takes his jacket and kind of closes it up. You hear the clinking of vials.
So, if we're supposed to believe about you and your brother, how come you won't tell us your name?
Very well. My name is Victor. Victor.
Hello, Victor.
Can the panther like just bite him a little bit? Is that a possibility?
I mean,
Well, no,
I'm sure
no,
we
no,
could
no.
Start with like his
Listen, okay, I'm
feet,
sorry.
and
I'm sorry.
then,
I'm sorry. My real name is Ryderius. I'm sorry. I didn't just.
all right.
Can I
so
go?
why are-
This is
No.
becoming a thing, and
Listen. Listen. Why are you here?
to kill the man who killed my brother.
No, and I want Sarah's closer. I want,
Go ahead and roll
Sarah's to, like-
intimidation.
Ooh, I don't know if I'm good at this. Oh, I'm definitely not good at this. Oh, that's not bad.
He kind of, but you see him kind of begin to tap his foot a little bit nervously, and he kind of just takes his arm and just starts kind of rubbing his, or takes his hand and starts rubbing his arm. There's a man here who has something that I want.
What does he have?
Just scroll.
I look at the others and I'm like,
It's a map.
you guys. Oh.
A map of what?
I wasn't wrong. He is a dick, though.
And you were gonna kill him for that?
He cheated me in during a contest. We were throwing knives, and he just he cheated. When I turned around, he walked up and like moved it into the center of the target. You know, it sucks. I don't win very often. People assume that I'm up to no good.
It seems like you're up to no good.
I wonder why.
I take offense to that. Whatever you are.
I squeeze him harder. I'm like, there will be no murdering people in Sundal.
Just a little bit of maiming. I just need the map.
What is the map of?
It's none of your business.
Saris.
I want to start taking his jacket off of him.
He just clenches it tight. Just, what are you doing? This isn't one of those weird cult things, is it?
I mean, maybe. I just need this for a second. Don't worry about it.
No.
Okay.
You can go.
Sorry, you can do whatever you want with your panther for a sec while I get the details on this.
I was gonna see if Saris could like put his paw on like his foot and just slowly like
Press down.
in. Yeah.
He kind of just begins to try moving his foot away as Saris kind of starts pawing after his foot. As he kind of move his foot around, just stop it. And he just takes his hand and just kind of flicks the top of Saris's head. Bad.
Oh, I wanted to bite him.
Okay. Yeah. Roll the hit, I guess, on that.
What do I roll?
So you're 1d20 plus 2.
Oh, 1d20
Plus 2.
plus 2.
To hit, not to damage.
Yeah.
No, it's the damage.
You see, like, as he flicks and pulls his hand back, it just, Saris just snaps his jaws and just pulls his hand away. That's my bad. Sorry? Sorry.
Do it again and he'll bite.
I see that.
So what's on the map?
Well, the location of something valuable, of course. What if I showed you a magic trick? Could that
No.
get... Okay. He kind of just looks back down.
Why don't we go talk with the guy that you're trying to kill? And see
This
what he
seems
has
like
to
it'd
say
be a
about
bit
all of
much. I think
this?
he might be intimidated if all of us go up. I think I'm best suited for it. I have a way with words.
I finally motion to Azure, bring him with. And I just start to walk back towards the tavern.
Sure. I
Go-
wrap my arm around him and...
He struggles a little bit. Give me a grapple check. The DC is not very high.
Sure.
Please.
That one? Okay. Figures. You rolled a 5. You see him kind of start trying to peel away. I need to go to the back. Okay, sorry. You guys, he's very just tight, his shoulders in. He kind of holds his coat still around him. As you're walking, you hear him go every like step or so. You hear him just coughing almost like in a rhythmic pattern.
Would we notice that it's in a rhythmic pattern? Like, would we pick up that it's a rhythm?
More or less.
I'm ignoring it. I'm just ushering him on.
How are you guys walking, by the way? I need to know this.
I'm gonna be behind.
Okay,
Asher and
Selena,
the
you see him.
guy.
You see like shit falling out of his coat, like onto the ground, like little vials just shattering as he like every time he coughs. Like as he's walking, you see like shit just dropping out, just like psh, psh, every time he's like, just every time he walks.
Hey, you guys, he's dropping vials.
This is way better than the pun guy. That's all I'm saying. Like,
I'm the pun guy.
Oh no, my vials! I'm sorry about that. And he just kind of like and when he goes, and just like shoves like the full right side of his pockets. They all shatter. They all just shatter across the ground.
I turn to Aegis and I'm like, Aegis, can you go find can you go gather up at least one of the Sundal's leaders and bring them over to the tavern?
Okay.
Thanks, bud.
I'm gonna go where to where I've seen the leaders.
Yeah, you are able to track down. Actually, three of them are talking to you. See, Sorrow, Merrick, and Atticus.
I'm going to approach them.
Yup.
Asher wants to speak to you.
Sorrow
Could you
speaks
come with
up.
me?
About what?
There's a guy trying to poison a person.
They just goes from bad to worse. Atticus, should you? No, I'll do it. You. Sarah just kind of takes his arm and crosses him on his back. And just lead the way.
All right, and I head back towards the tavern.
At this point, have we entered the tavern? I would assume.
Oh yeah. At this point,
I was
again,
hoping to do like
people.
a staggered thing here.
Okay.
Yep. Is poison guy with us
Yeah, it's just
behind me?
freaking yeah. No, Asher's just arm around him, just and like he's just been coughing and shoving like crap out of his jacket the entire time. The amount of vials that hit the ground is borderline like bag of holding level. It's obscene.
I look at him. Which one?
Yeah, buddy. Who are you trying to murder?
Without like breaking eye contact, he just goes, "That's one," and just points into the crowd. The crowd again has backed up at this point as Saris has now walked into the building.
I smack him lightly across the face. Just which one?
Well, now it feels a bit awkward if I pointed it out. I mean, where's the hunt there? It's that one. And he just points over, and there's this kind of this old ratty, just old dude, like gray beard, just scraggly. His like one eye's closed, kind of rocking this like Forrest Whitaker shit going on. And he's just like in the corner, just like he's shaking, like he's holding a mug. This guy, he has a little bit of armor on it, but he looks very frail. And he's just kind of shaking as he's drinking, just.
I just say out loud to the crowd, I'm like, does anybody know who this guy is?
I mean, like how we would just go, "Oh, that's the servant." And some guy looks over, just. He's a bartender, I believe.
You're a bartender?
And he goes, "Ah, yes, that." I'm quite a man of my trade. I can make you a mean. He looks in someone's cup. Ale.
I'm
Asher.
sure.
They think that because he was the one diving at drinks earlier.
So no one in here knows who this guy is, and I just look over.
It's someone
I just
you
look
hear
at
someone
the
speak
guy.
up. Who's a bartender? He just said that.
I don't think he is.
Guy just yells at, just goes, "Huh?"
What is the one he was trying to coerce into giving a drink to a person?
Yeah.
Insight.
Oh yeah, you see like the guy who he was like berating is just kind of like sitting over there. He's just like slowly just like wiping off the bar top, just like glancing over at you occasionally. Just
I point out, you come here.
this kind of younger, kind of thinner man walks over. Yes.
Do you remember where
He
this
paid
guy
me.
was pointing to? He paid you?
No questions asked.
what?
He said don't. He said just give a drink to the armored man. Am I in trouble? I just work here.
You don't move. I turn to Asher.
I have a job.
Do you think
to-
this is? I don't care.
I'm gonna get yelled at.
Is Saris in there with us?
Yeah, Serge is just in the doorway, just kind of standing there, a little bit head hunched down, just kind of glaring at people, and people are just kind of backing off.
You move, he fights.
I look at Saris and I'm like, Saris. And I want him to just go up, like slowly, kind of like stalking, like he's ready to just like.
Yeah, he just very low, just moves, just staring at him. He just, and he just kind of like shuffles away a little bit against the bar, kind of jumps up onto it, and he's just like, I don't like him.
You make.
I look at Asher. This is probably what Otwin wants.
You think he has something to do with them?
I don't know, but I do know that we don't have time to waste on it.
You hear another vial break.
This doesn't happen in this town. I wonder where our other companion is.
Subtle.
Oh, ages.
As you sit there for a moment, thinking, "Oh, look at that."
Look
you-
at the time.
You hear some footsteps. It's like just heavy, just armored footsteps walk through the door. Behind him, and kind of a half-elven man, just very lazily expression, just almost dead, just looks around. Asha, you rang for me?
Yeah.
Psh.
I just kind of spin the guy around in the trench coat. And
Yeah, so he kind of like puts his hands like goes, hey, he's like, hello, and like and you see his coat fly open. There's like crap load of vials. He just quickly shuts them.
Yeah.
You must be the man to talk. Okay, well, he kind of pulls a hand up towards Asher. Let me speak on my behalf. You must be the man to speak to, the man in charge, right? You are? Well, my name is Velius, and I was simply trying to help the patrons of this bar, this tavern, Griffin Wing Tavern. It's not called that. You see Sarah just kind of... This is the Butch Mast. Oh, sorry, I tried to help as many towns. I just got here. I was just hired. By whom? Point is, that man over there, gray beard, kind of dead, sickly looking. He's out to get me. And I was trying to stop him, and then these individuals were trying to stop me. Sarah just kind of looks down and just looks at the rest of you.
What should we do?
I'm at a
Can
loss.
I take a jacket?
You can try. Go
I'll
ahead and roll
take this jacket with the
roll
vial.
a strength check or I guess grapple.
What's grapple?
Athletics.
Yeah.
For you.
Athletics.
What? He rolled a 19. This
Yikes.
shit. As he grabs
still
it,
a bitch.
he takes a coat, and as you just begin to peel off, he's like, "No, stop it!" And you just tear it, and you see part of the coat just kind of rips as the canvas kind of pulls apart, and the coat falls on the ground. And you kind of see him. He kind of has this kind of regal vest on, no sleeves, and he just kind of sits there, looking kind of almost ashamed as he just kind of. That was unprofessional.
I want to pick up his trench coat and inspect it for any more vials.
There's probably about 6 or 7 left in there. They have various like black and purple liquids in them.
I want to take them.
Okay. That is not her property. Do something, please. They were a gift.
Sirs.
The kind of the server you guys had told to stand there before is just still like, he paid me. Start. Why am I here?
I just turned to Sarah and I'm just like, what should we do about them? What should we do about this?
I'm a bit confused on the story. I just said you wanted to see me. No?
Yes. You still lead this town, do you not?
Well, that's Merrick, but you said a town. What is actually happening here?
Well, I think it's pretty obvious that this person is trying to poison someone.
Is that what those
You
are?
would let that... I look down at the vials.
Yeah, there's just glass and like just liquid everywhere. Pardon me, I'm just a bit preoccupied.
I kind of squint at Sorrow.
Sorry, it looks like he's just become one. He's over. He's always just been a very methodic, just very analytical person. And you see me as he's kind of mulling things over and just kind of stares at the man. Asha, I'll be honest. I have my thoughts on other things. Leave the. This is up to you, frankly. I'll speak to your father. I need to take care of something else. I'm sorry.
No need. It's up to me then. Thank you.
Walks away, and then the guy just. Well, at least he didn't kill me. Can I go?
Oh, not yet. Soon.
Oh.
Hang tight, just a sec.
Can I get the vials? They were a gift from my father, you know.
No, I'm keeping them.
What? Could I barter, perhaps?
No, I'm keeping them.
Arm wrestle.
You
Dagger
take
throwing.
one step towards me. You take one step toward me, and Saris will leave a nice bite mark.
I turn and I'm just like, thanks, Sorrow. That's all we
He
needed.
just bows his head and just kind of respectfully bows and turns and kind of takes his cloak and whips it around and walks outside.
I grab the guy's neck that now has no coat on. I just grab his neck.
Okay,
And
okay, question about this.
I turn and look and cast Thaumaturgy to open the door, the front door again.
Oh, it's already open. Like it's been opened.
I fucking close it and slam it back
Okay.
open again.
The door, wham, wham, just opens. Everyone just turns and looks at the door.
Yeah.
You
I
know,
think I get three
feel
charges of Thaumaturgy at the same time, so I also make my eyes glow red.
Okay. I feel like we're overreacting a bit to this.
And I just say, let's go. And I turn and I drag him out of there.
Roll and just roll and give me a strength check.
Sure.
You see he kind of digs his feet into the ground. He's sort of trying to resist a little bit.
13.
Yeah, no, you're able to just kind of just very easily just grab him by the kind of scruff of the neck
Yep.
and drag him out.
I just grab him by the back of the neck and I'm just dragging him. I drag him out of the tavern.
As he
and I'm
leaves, you hear him
trying
just
to-
he just goes, "Close my cab. Can I get like just a selection of?" Okay, you drag him out in front.
Okay. I'm looking for just like the edge of the town, basically.
That's
to where
about
the-
100
where
feet off to your right, kind of
Yep,
towards.
I'm
Nick's
just-
house.
the- dragging him.
You see him as he's like
What's
his feet are kicking, his heels are dragging in the dirt. The rest of you, I assume, are following.
Yeah.
Yeah. While we're following, I motion to Selena. Hand me one of those potions.
As he's being dragged, by the way, the rest of you three except for Asher, see him take. So he has his hand around his neck, trying to like get like the grip out. The other right hand is throwing vials out of his pockets as they're shattering against the ground.
This guy.
Eventually, just overturns both his pockets, and he's just like, just keeps going. You're at the edge of the town.
Okay.
Hey,
I just kind of.
Selena, did I get one of the potions from you? Did you?
I was gonna look at like what color
There's a
potions
black,
there
a
are.
purple, and a green. And then there's
don't care.
two of each and three of the black.
Give me a black.
Okay. All right. I just hand it over to
Give me a
him.
black one. Asher, hold him down.
He's
I go to throw him onto the ground.
You
if I
throw him,
can.
and he just kind of sits back for a moment. What? Oh, what are you doing?
I walk over and uncap the potion and say, either you talk or you drink.
I've been talking this entire time. You're not quite the most reasonable bunch of people.
And you haven't been telling us the truth the entire time.
What do
I
you
don't
want?
have time for this.
Fine. He just kind of like just takes his hand. He kind of has this gimme motion. And his hand like reaches towards the vial.
I give it to him.
He just takes it, just downs it.
What happens?
He kind of just starts smacking his lips. And he hands it back to you.
Give me another one.
Hand him a green one.
Then as soon as you do, he goes, "Oh, okay, fine, fine." That one was licorice. I'm sorry. I just not the green one. What
Can
do
I
you
tell
want?
if he's lying or if he's like trying to bluff me?
You don't have to roll insight. You know that he looks genuinely terrified of this.
Okay. I undo the cork and slowly start to bring it towards him.
What do you want to know? He kind of he stands up. He starts trying to stand up. He kind of starts brushing himself off.
While he's doing that, I turn back, look at Selena, and then look at Saris, and then look back at him. Everything. Why are you here? Why were you trying to kill a man in the tavern? Are you even telling the truth about that?
The man's a dick. He has the map. I want the map. He cheated me in a contest. That was all true. My name, not so much. My real name is Stella, which is not exactly the most terrifying name. Stella the murderer, Stella the bandit. He just kind of looks at you.
Sorry.
Are you from Sundal?
God, no. I'm far from the south. You heard of Durham? The land of opportunity. Or
Turn around and leave.
can I get my jacket?
And if I ever see you back in Sundal again, I'll take you up to the pit where my mother was killed and I will throw you in myself.
I just kind of look over at Asher.
I take out my warhammer.
It's getting a bit cold. Can I get my jacket back? It's the seasons are cold. I don't want to, perish.
I'll give you your jacket back, but I'm keeping these vials.
Careful of the purple ones, and just kind of grabs a jacket and just snaps it away and just throws it on. And the jacket's just torn and in shreds. It's almost like two strips just hanging off separately. Just.
All right.
Oh, good day.
Before you leave, I have one last question. Depending on your answer, and if you answer it correctly, one or two things are going to happen. You're either going to leave untouched, or I'm going to tell my amazing friend Saris to, I don't know, I'll leave Saris to decide whatever he wants to do to you. What are each potions?
The black one is licorice. The green one, just don't drink it.
No, the name.
I don't have a name for it. It just
Okay,
does
what's the ingredients?
shit. Ingredients, death. Don't drink it. I'm not the one who made them.
Is he being truthful in that?
Roll insight. He seems generally truthful about it. He seems that he's probably telling the truth about it.
Who made them?
Some woman sold me them in Durham. She's creepy. Kind of
How
haggard.
come when we went into the tavern, you wouldn't show us the guy,
Well, I eventually did.
and the guy wasn't there.
The gray-bearded old. Yeah.
I use thaumaturgy on my voice, and I just yell, "Enough!" And I stand in front, and I get my warhammer out, and I raise it up, and I just say, "Go!"
Well, that is my cue. And he just nods once and just about facing and starts walking into the tall grass.
As he's walking away, I throw the green potion at him.
Yeah, go ahead and roll. Give me a roll a dexterity check.
I hope you hit.
You see as it just goes flying over, and you hear. Psh. He just turns around, just. You see almost like a high strut as he walks away.
That turned out really well, thank God.
I turn and kind of walk past my group with my head down a little bit.
This one is the sun or the sky is growing a little bit more kind of reddish in hue. Seems like it's kind of getting on towards the evening.
I will walk a little past her and I'm next to Asher and I lean over and I'm like, Are you sure you're okay?
First my father and now the village leaders.
What do you mean the village leaders? Did something happen or
Putting the fate of a murderer in my hometown and leaving it up to me? I don't know who's capable of protecting this town anymore.
And what are you gonna do about it?
The only thing I can do.
Are you gonna stay here forever?
I don't know yet.
Hmm.
But somebody's got to do something.
Okay.
This isn't the
Right.
town I grew up in.
Well, you have to understand that the people here have been through something that no other town should go through. It's hard to stay the same and not have any changes from going through such traumatic events.
So let's change something.
And what would that change be?
I think Moradin will tell me soon enough.
And what time will tell. And I just slow down my pace and just go back next to Mick.
I'd walk back to town.
What did he say?
I don't know, Mick. He seems different. And I understand on why he's acting the way he is, but it's like he's lost a little flicker in the life of his eyes. He seems to think that that there's no one capable enough to protect this town. And it kind of seems that he's lost a little hope.
Like, part of it is him realizing that he's got to grow up. Not everything can be joyous. Life isn't as happy as he wants to. It sucks for me to say, but he's finally getting a glimpse at what the real life is like.
Everyone has their way of coping with death and loss. But I don't know if he's going in the right direction with it. I guess time will tell.
All I know is that we'll be there next to him when it happens.
Hopefully we'll be able to do something.
Start following after Asher.
Asher, where's it you were going?
Back to the tavern.
Okay. Walking out in front of the tavern, it seems that it's a little bit more lively during the night. As these nights have always been under watch and very secure, people are taking this time to kind of branch out and enjoy the fresh air. These cellars have become, very just wet, damp, just kind of pungent. You see a couple of tents are set up, like kind of just storefronts now, like they've been constructed in the past day. One wagon seems kind of like the other ones are more permanent. There's a large kind of wooden wagon with ornate doors on it, and a man in like a white robe. There's the other shops have just kind of just various patrons at them. It seems like there's a little bit more of a gathering, like just in this area of the town.
Okay. I just want to mingle.
Yeah, you begin to kind of talk with some familiar faces. Mick, you briefly see.
Did I see the old dude that he was talking about?
Yeah, you kind of hobbling out of this tavern is this old, decrepit, armored. Like the armor doesn't fit him; it's like sagging. His beard's all scraggly. He's like one eye kind of closed and twitching. He just kind of walks out.
Before he walks out, can I stop him?
Yeah.
Excuse me, do you have the time?
Yes. Night. He just points up.
Are you? I wouldn't recognize him.
Oh no.
I don't recognize you. Are you from around here?
Who really is? You travel.
When did you arrive in Sundal?
You just 2 months. My name's Coyle, and he just puts out his hand like just really fast at you.
I like daintily grab it and like shake it.
Strong man.
Is there anything like seemingly off about him?
Yeah, he looks batshit insane.
Well, yeah, clearly his name's Coyle. Like,
Outside of that, no, he looks old and decrepit.
He's
Probably
just
in like
old.
on the last leg of his life.
did you by chance see us in here earlier with a man in a coat?
Ah, yeah, I got into this knife game with him. And I got this. And he has like a map. Or like it looks like a kind of this parchment that's scrolled. You kind of see it unfold and you see some like trails. Looks like a map.
Do you mind if I take a look at that?
No! He kind of just puts it back on his armpit and just holds it like very still.
Mind if I ask what it is?
None of your damn business!
He was trying to kill you.
Yeah, probably deserve that, but thanks for stopping him.
Very well. And then I wish him a goodbye, I guess.
He just kind of hobbles off, like in no seemingly direction. Like he walks left and then suddenly turns right and just kind of goes into an alleyway.
Weird little hoot. And then go inside.
Alright. Mick, as you kind of walk outside, though, you briefly see Thea kind of like walk by. She offers just a quick wave and then just kind of continues on like, into the crowd. She kind of just loses her like after a little bit. So you're inside the tavern, Selena, Aegis. What are you guys doing?
I just want to. I don't want to go into the tavern with them. I just want to like walk the streets of the town to see if I notice anything unusual. With Sarah's by my side.
Really stands out. You walk past. So if you're kind of going down, you see some of the shops. Looks like one of them selling kind of these kind of woven baskets. One of them selling these kind of small little trinkets, and the guy with the large wagon has just a menagerie of items, just random crap.
What items? I want to go up and walk up.
You're walking up this wagon. It sits pretty tall, and this man sits forward. And he's almost in pure white robes and vestments. He looks a little bit older, but has still a very kind of youthful aura to him. And he goes, "Oh, what can I do for you?"
I was just wondering what you have in your inventory. Anything new?
He kind of looks over and he punches the side of his wagon, and two doors kind of spring open. Inside, there is just the most random. What you saw initially, there's bird cages, there's a book, there's a mirror, there's random keys hanging off things. There's one second. Yeah, there's knickknacks of everything. Every store. Asher and Aegis, you guys see this. You kind of see where she's at as well. You guys are kind of in the small little opening area.
Can I see if there's someone that sells? I want to go shopping. I want to go see if there's anyone that sells just clothing or
it seems
anything.
like these are the only shops around, and that everyone's kind of just getting back into the swing of things. That these are the only shops that have popped up.
Do I notice any magical rings?
Yeah, there's actually just a placard. No, I mean there's a couple of rings that are in this guy's shop. It seems like it looks like someone almost raided Caber's home. I'm not saying he did. I'm just saying it's like that level of just random shit.
Oh my god, poor Cabor.
Well, I'm
okay.
not.
We even leave town and that man can't even get enough. Okay. Is there anything? Can I notice anything that would be of certain value amongst like the junk?
I mean, just initially staring at stuff, nothing really stands out too much. There's a couple of like cloaks that are hanging, but like everything, there's ranges. There's stuff that looks decent, there's stuff that looks like complete trash. And as he kind of like watches you as you kind of look over things and just leans in. And what is your name?
Selena. And yours?
Levant Sel, the merchant of the mysterious, the meek and the meandering.
Ah, and what do you have here that is of most value to you?
Well, that depends. Every single item you see is one of a magical essence.
Really?
For instance, this bird cage, and he grabs it. When spoken, the words, I'm not going to say it. A bird appears.
I tell if he's just like straight up?
You can roll
just
insight.
lying?
He seems like he's being 100% truthful.
Ah.
He grabs the book. This book, it writes back.
What do you mean writes back? Writes back as if someone's on the other side of it, or
However you wish to interpret it, I'm just the merchant. Levancel, remember the name.
Levanso? Do you have? Actually, I'm curious. Do you recognize this? And I roll up my my sleeve and I show him my bracelet.
He kind of he reaches his hand towards it and pauses for a moment and just pulls his hand back. I can't say that I do. I don't sell one here, I'm sorry. Perhaps you get a matching set.
Oh, if I don't know what I'd do to myself if I had a matching set, to be completely honest. I would actually, how much is that book worth? The one that writes back?
I mean, it is magical. 50 gold.
50.
Perhaps if that's too steep, I could interest you in some keys of sorts. And there's, you see these just random, like, there's like probably 10 different keys. Some of them have dwarven symbols on them. Some of them have elvish ones. It's just a range of things.
I'll be back. I'm gonna go get my friends.
Or perhaps of this bag, it's... Don't let its size deceive... Kind of just turns back and begins to talk to another customer.
Huh. And is everyone grouped together? Or?
You see Asher and Aegis are kind of standing in the center. Asher at this point is talking with some kind of just some people. Asher, these are old friends. They're just people that you've recognized before. You see me just kind of talking to them. Some of them are like shaking his hand and patting him on the shoulder. Aegis, you were standing there doing...
Yeah, no, I'm like awkwardly standing around, unsure of.
You're just
what
peering
is now
over everyone.
going
He's like a
on.
beacon in the middle of this crowd.
The last several interactions have left me a bit confused, and I'm just kind of there. Just
Okay.
observing.
What do you guys want to
Calibrating.
do?
Yeah.
Calculating route.
Mick, if you wanted to have joined them at this point, that like you're fully able to.
Yeah. Yeah, after going to Tavern City, nobody else is there. I try to go find them.
Yeah. So Sonny, you join the other
Yeah.
three as they're just kind of standing in the center.
Yeah.
What do you guys want to do? Do you guys want to head back, or is there anything? I'm still like kind of defeated, and just I'm kind of lost in my thoughts of just like remembering about all the events that we've been through.
Well, I met a lot of people that I'm glad are still here. So that's good.
Speaking of that, while I was trying to find you guys, I saw Fea.
Okay, I'll just give you a
my
quick
notes.
summary.
Checking
So
my
yeah,
notes.
Asher,
Yeah,
she remember
that's
Faye
it.
as kind of like who she was one who grew up with you guys and definitely had a kind of a crush, a thing for Mick.
Oh, I'm just like, why didn't you go talk to her?
I was trying to find you guys.
You should go try to find her. That's way better than us.
Would I know this or
No.
No.
No, I was about to
Definitely
say
not.
like I'm
No.
just like
childhood friend of me and
I'm just like, who's she?
Selena's the type of girl who, or the person who's just like, you say like an inside joke, she's like, yeah, I was there for that.
we met you 2 weeks ago. Like
We go way back.
Just like, Mick, go catch up with her.
there's things of more importance to worry about.
All right.
Don't make me RP a love scene.
Well, what do you want to do?
In basically just waiting for Outwood at this point, right?
I guess.
Is there another
Ghosts.
encampment?
I pull out the big bag of gold that I got.
Yeah.
We can. Do any of you want this to buy things while we wait for Otwin?
My eyes just like they get really wide. If I could have a little bit
Selena.
of it,
I just
Like,
hand you the whole bag.
I just like. Actually, could you guys come with me? I want to show you guys
Okay.
something.
Sure.
Sure.
I take him over to the caravan.
You watch. The rest of you see this kind of just fully white, almost like the robes are almost pure white. There's a little bit of dirt at the bottom, but quite clean for just a general traveler. Hello, welcome back. Did you make up your mind? Perhaps I can interest you in this. And he kind of creates the silver piece. This here. After a minute of leaving, if you just speak the words and throw it, it'll come back to you.
And what purpose would that be useful for?
Well, I think that's up to you. Or a quill that never runs out of ink.
What were you saying about that bag?
Oh, I must warn you, one of the other patrons has quite a deep interest in it. It's a bag that simply holds more than it appears to. It's...
How much more?
Watch this. And he just kind of grabs a bag, takes out one of the swords, and just drops it, and it just disappears. And takes the bag, and the sword just clatters onto the ground.
Wow.
That's new.
That could be really useful, couldn't it?
Do I recognize is the vendor like the vendor is from it's a caravan, right? So it's like a traveling merchant. So
There's a large ox that sits in the front that's just massive. Oh, perhaps. And he shows a scroll that has an iron clasp around it. This scroll here. Its clasp has never been opened. I don't even know what lies inside, but it is magical.
The clasp or the scroll is magical?
He like shakes a little bit. The magical items. I don't know all of them. Or perhaps a mug that fills up with ale endlessly once it's empty.
Can I see the scroll? I just hold out my hand.
Sure. He places it into your hand.
I'm gonna sit down on the ground and I'm gonna ritual cast Identify.
It looks to be a scroll of healing of some sort that's imbued onto the parchment.
Is it like a spell scroll?
Yes.
Okay. Cool.
All right. Well, he's on the ground doing that for 10 minutes. I'm like, can I see that for 10 minutes?
Yeah.
He's just using it. He's like, 1 second.
Yeah. I'm like, how much does that bag cost?
I mean, part of its unique nature. I've never seen something quite like this. 300.
I don't think I have that much on me right now.
Or provide a magical artifact of yourself. We could trade.
How much is this worth? And I pull out the ring that ceases hunger that I have.
And what does it do?
It ceases your hunger.
May I see it?
Sure. And I
As you take it off, you feel this just sickening hunger. Your stomach begins to hurt and contort. You almost buckle over as you just you have no need to. And it's just like when you just you feel like your stomach is just empty. The peppers are in there just do nothing for not having ate for weeks.
never mind, give it back. And I reach back for the ring and I put it back on.
Well, that seems dangerous. I don't. But I am intrigued. Tell you what, that ring in the bag, if we trade that, and
75 gold.
150.
That's still too steep for me.
That's still way too steep. How?
Also, you should probably eat something.
Yeah.
I pull out some jerky.
Yeah, I just start. I start stuffing my face with jerky.
I still have almost 3/4 of a pound.
You can tell me if because I know we went back and forth on this, but This is as canon as I remember my actions being.
Yeah.
But I dig into my bag looking for something to eat for Selena, and I see that there are still 3 small pearls in my bag.
Yep, they're there.
And I dig them out, and I'm like, I put 1 back in my bag, but I take 2 out, and I'm like, I guess these are real pearls. Do you know how much these are worth?
He takes them. He closes his hand around him. The ring, both these pearls, and 50 gold. We have a deal.
I look at Selena and kind
my
of
God.
shrug.
That's okay with me.
He extends his hand for the ring.
I take off the ring and I put it in his
Just
hand.
you still feel that kind of just crippling hunger, but you kind of just slowly kind of feel a little bit satiated, like you feel a little satiated by the jerky, but definitely need to eat a lot more. He takes it and hands you guys the bag.
Just out of character, how are we doing the gold on that 50?
As soon as
I'm
you
gonna
think the
take
bag
it out.
that
I was gonna take the
Aegis
bag and
handed
just
over.
add. Yeah, so like I'll.
Yeah, I gave you all 75 gold that I have.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna.
You're just gonna pay for it?
Yeah, I'm paying for it. You're
All
good.
right. Okay.
Aegis is an ATM.
I'm out of money now.
Yeah, 25. It's fine.
Well, I don't have the 25. Selena has the 25.
She might give
Yeah.
it back. I don't know. I'm
Well,
worried about that.
Well,
no
yeah.
until
Do
it
you
happens.
do you want the gold back?
Doesn't matter to me.
Eh,
I don't really have any use for gold.
Well,
okay.
regardless, you now have a bag of holding.
Ooh.
Who wants
Fog.
to track that?
It's on all of your journals, by the way.
Oh.
On your
Oh, is it?
handouts.
Oh, okay, nice.
It can be edited, and I can just I'll put all of you guys on
Oh,
that.
cool.
Oh, that's sick.
There you go.
Nice.
Nice.
That's gonna be handy.
Mm-hmm.
Indeed.
Mm-hmm.
All right. What is it you are doing?
I want to get food. I like hold my stomach. I'm like, guys, I
right.
need
For
food.
the sake of brevity here, you're able to quickly find food, consume it, and after a short while you feel full. It's taking a while to get there, but you feel a bit better. You definitely miss that sensation of eating. Are you just turning in for the evening? What is it you are?
I'm turning in.
What time is it?
It's into the night at this point.
Been a interesting day between the de-aging portal. And I'm saying it like that because I don't understand what it is. And potion guy.
Stella.
As I chuckle at his stupid name.
I just give you kind of a puzzled look.
I smile too.
So you guys are all going to bed and all that?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Yeah, sounds reasonable.
In the middle of the night, Selena, you feel the presence of Nigel ill in your mind. He says but one thing.
Nigel.
Those close will grow still in the night. He returns.
And I like.
So at some point in the morning, you are all woken up very abruptly. Asher, above you stands Sorrow. We need your help now. Now.
Okay.
And he just grabs you and you haven't seen him in this behavior before. Walking outside, you see something quite unsettling. You see before you, towards Mick's home, in the outskirts of town, spreading in different ways, a trail of people, all of them petrified in stone.
I just run in that direction.
As you begin to walk past each of these
Instinctively.
people, you see some people are just walking. Some people are it looks like a group of people at one point were all staring at one thing and they were just petrified. Some of them were frozen. Other ones looked like they're running. The trail appears to kind of lead towards that.
Yeah, I just run in that direction as fast as I can, just panting, out of breath.
Out about
I chase
200
after
feet
him.
away from the home, as you all kind of just meet. Hey, just you've been grabbed. Just I assume you've been staying with them as well. You were just shoot. About 200 feet out, you see that several of them have crawled. All of these people, none of them have got probably about within 200 feet out of the home, and they're just crawling, and it's just turned to stone.
What is going on with this house?
So the house just looks the same. There's
Yes.
just a bunch of petrified people everywhere.
Yeah, and almost like this like trail, like just all converging from different parts of the town, headed towards that point.
I like go up to one petrified person and I just kind of like touch it and make sure it's real and like knock on it, and
it's definitely stone.
yeah. I'm just like in a
nearby.
panic.
I'm gonna ritual cast detect magic again. See if there's anything new happening at the house.
There doesn't seem to be any magical presence.
Okay.
Is Sorrow nearby?
Yes, Sorrow and several, pretty much all the other town leaders, Atticus, everyone's just looking at the different townspeople, like the different petrified.
You told me to stay away. What's going on now?
I don't know. And he begins to look at each of the faces. He's looking at like who they are.
I'm gonna go into the house. I'm gonna make my way towards the house.
Is she stepping
Like,
down in the crater?
Not stepping like
Where are you going?
borderline.
You're standing on the
Like-
towards the edge of the wood, and yeah, you're just standing there. What's your passive
I turn to Sorrow.
perception? I think it's
My perception's 3.
No, passive.
Your
It'll be
passive.
underneath.
it's your wisdom plus I think 10, right?
It's 10 plus perception modifier.
Oh, I'm
yeah.
13.
I am
As you
14.
step up to who's at the house and who's not.
I'm inspecting. I also am inspecting like faces on the.
Okay, then
rock,
for
the
you,
stone people.
Asher, these are all the people that you rescued from the cages.
Oh.
Okay.
Selena, as you're standing at the edge of the house, you look up, and beyond the house, about 200 feet out, you see a lone standing figure. Black fur draped over his shoulders. Standing
I
still.
book it. I book it.
As you take where?
I'm booking it to him.
As you take a step forward, like just with this house, you begin to hear this vibration begin to shake. Out of the left side, you hear just this tearing sensation. You hear this brick and stone and wood just begin to rip apart. Just as you hear this bounding, as it begins to this vibration begins to increase. It almost sounds like something running. I need you all to roll initiative.
Oh,
The fuck is going on right now?
Can I just
I've
fucking
been, like,
Alta
some
for this
weird-
house? What the fuck, dude?
Some kind of weird nightmare right now.
All right.
All right.
All right, do we have a map?
Yeah. Jesus Christ, people! Every time you guys
just-
ask that, as if I'm like, oh no!
Well, it's because you don't change the.
Yeah, because I'm doing other things. Shit.
Oh,
I just don't want to roll without a token.
Yeah.
For your sake.
And breaking through one of the houses really quick, this colossal creature just kind of smashes through. You see these jaws snapping at the air. All right, and this is the map.
This music's badass.
This music's really intense.
I love the music.
All right.
I'm like,
Wait, why can't I hear the music now?
What is it?
Wait.
Is this a creature that any of us recognize in any capacity?
I recognize it from that.
Not
thing.
me.
Hold
No.
on, I don't hear.
Though,
Okay.
hey, just go ahead and give me a general intelligence check. I feel like in your
Hold on.
studies and your Thorncrest and all that, there's a little bit of.
I can't hear
Um,
the music.
Be big smart.
That's on roll 20.
I know I have roll 20 up.
Make sure the volume's turned up. Anyways, you've heard of something like this that could petrify people.
Okay. That's all I know about it.
Yeah. So it's one of those like just, you know that with through like its gaze can petrify people.
Okay.
Let me
Okay.
roll.
Quickly mark
So-
shit.
Okay.
Oh my.
Okay.
So where is Mick's house? In the
uh,
crater?
For the sake of this, it's don't it's not on this. And how I didn't put it in here.
Okay.
For the sake of it, though, it's gonna be like off to your right over here. Like
Okay.
this home, more or less.
Okay.
Okay. This map isn't accurate. I don't like it. Okay. All right. Selena, it is your turn.
I take my bow out and I look over and I'm just like, this is not good, and I aim for the creature in front.
Okay.
Oh God.
You fire an arrow and it goes over and just kind of glances off its thick hide. It smashes into some of the spines and falls down to the ground.
God.
What is Saris doing?
Oh God. Saris is going to. Saris is gonna like stalk right here.
Okay. Oh, let me give you control of that.
Yeah.
There you go.
Alright, how can I move? Oh, I can't move him.
What the fuck? Alright, hold on.
If not, I'll just tell you, like, I want him to go, like, right here.
Okay, on. There you go. You can move it now.
Dope. Yeah, I want him to start, like, trying to climb his way to the roof.
Oh, you want him to get on the roof?
Like, see if he can make a path to, like, climb, like, on this house.
It's a second story roof. I have a little trouble. If you want to start doing that, shit, there's not really any way for him to get up.
There's not?
I mean, if you want to roll acrobatics for, just go ahead and roll a dexterity check. If it wants you to maybe climb up the tree and then jump to the roof.
Yeah. Come on, Saris.
Yeah, as it tries to climb the tree, you see it kind of get up in there as it jumps. It barely misses the roof as it tries to and lands on the ground. It's fine. There's no damage. It just kind of lands on its legs. Aegis.
All right. Knowing somewhat how this creature can petrify, I'm going to shout out, "Don't meet its gaze."
Okay.
And then I'm going to I'm just gonna cast Firebolt at it. 15.
That hits.
Nice. 9 fire damage.
You watch as Aegis pulls out his hand and a bolt of fire just slams straight in and just knocks back to its shoulder. Some of its flesh begins to kind of melt away. The thing just snarls. It's just its eyes glowing purple.
And I'm gonna pull out my shield.
Okay.
That's my turn.
Asher.
So I was just basically inspecting the stone people. Like, as I look up, like what I look up and see just a beast coming around the corner, or?
You see it like as it tears through this building looking at you guys.
Okay. I look up and grit my teeth and
Actually.
pull out, I got my warhammer and I charge it.
All right. 1 second. Yeah, I need I need to make a Constitution save.
Sure.
Oh God.
14.
All right. You feel his eyes begin to just like focus on you as you charge, but just nothing. You don't feel anything as you charge. And go ahead and swing.
All right, so let's see. I am wielding this thing with 2 hands now. So the damage is going to be different, but we'll still swing to hit.
As you bring your
yeah.
hammer, it just kind of snaps its jaws at you, and you just whiff into the air as the hammer goes past its face.
Okay.
Mick.
Is Sorrow nearby still?
Sorrow has kind of started pulling people back, just kind of trying to keep them back away from the combat and the rubbled, kind of ruined house to the north of this creature.
Being closer to Asher at one point, would I have noticed that Oddwin was up top?
No. Slane's the only one that saw him out in the field standing there.
Okay. I get out of LOS of Asher said on hit him. I should be able to shoot here without connecting them, right?
Yeah. Go ahead and roll a Constitution save. Okay, you're good.
Nice. Nice.
Right. Draw my bow, cast Right of the Flame on it,
Yep.
imbue it, and let one fly.
That as you fire the arrow, it glances off its spines and kind of clatters between them as it falls down to the street on the cobblestone behind it. Asher. This creature on its 8 legs begin to kind of squirm, and it rears back and swings.
My AC is 16.
Yep. And as it kind of comes down and its jaws snap at you, you hold up your shield, and its jaws are not your.
No shield.
Yeah, you're right. You don't have a shield. You kind of
Warhammer.
You take your hammer and kind of shove it up in between its mouth as it tries to bite down. You kind of hold it there, and as it pulls its mouth back, you pull your hammer back out. Selena, is your turn.
Okay. I shout to the group.
Better start.
It's his fault. He's here. He's here. He did this. I saw him over the woods and the hills. I'm full of rage and I draw back my bow again and I try to aim for this creature.
Can you roll a Constitution save for me?
Okay.
You pull back your bow, and as you fire, go ahead and roll to attack. You kind of feel yourself kind of stiffening up a little bit.
Just please. Oh
The arrow
my God.
bounces off as the thing it kind of snaps in the air. It just grabs one of the arrows and just snaps it in half as it splinters down to the ground. Okay. Aegis.
Alright, kind of trying to avert my gaze as best I can. I'm gonna run up next to it.
Yep.
And I'm gonna give it a
If you're looking
smack.
away, roll a disadvantage on your attack.
Okay.
That
16.
hits.
Ooh, nice.
Nice.
Nice, dude.
5.
Not nice.
As Aegis runs up,
That's
you see him kind of
nice.
look away, and
Minimum
he just takes his fist and then throws it straight into the side. And you kind of see it just kind of blow. Some of his flesh ripples as it makes contact. You hear a little bit of just kind of loud thud.
Yeah, that's my turn.
Okay,
Oh,
Asher.
what about-
Ooh, shoot. It's my turn again?
Yeah.
Nice. As I hear what Selena said, I quickly just start looking around everywhere. Do I see what she's talking about? She just yelled like, it's him, he's here.
Go ahead and roll perception.
Okay.
She didn't give you a direction or anything of the
I
sort.
said
Sure.
he's over the hill.
Let's see. Perception. 17.
Nice.
Looking out over the hill, you see a very far out. There's a black figure, kind of hard to make out. Just looks like he's standing solo in the field.
Okay. I look back down at this thing beneath me, and I'm just like, "What are you?" And I slam down.
Roll a
with my
Constitution
hammer.
save.
Sure. I didn't feel anything the first time, so I don't even know that anything's happening
Yep.
to me. There might be.
I did yell out at the start of the fight.
Asher, as you bring your hammer down, you feel your body stiffen, and right as the hammer's about to hit, you stop. And you just feel yourself just kind of locked in position. You're still very much aware, but you can't move.
Okay, so I can't attack
Correct.
this turn. Okay.
Mick.
I try to avert my gaze.
All right, so roll with
And-
disadvantage on your attack. That hits.
Nice.
Very nice.
Take that.
As Mick
Take that.
kind of looks away, kind of just remembers where he's at, looks and just fires, and arrow finds his mark. It sinks right between its second and third leg, and you kind of just hear it sink in, and the thing just kind of starts reeling back in pain as it stomps down on some of his legs start smacking the ground, some of the rubble and gravel kind of becoming loosened. Okay. Nice damage.
Thank you. Need it.
Okay. All right. The creature is going to attack. Okay.
If it attacks Asher, I'm going to use my reaction to give it disadvantage
All right.
with the protection fighting style.
Yeah, as a reason, it's kind of biting. Your AC is what, 16?
Mine is 16. Yeah.
All right. It begins to snap at you, and it brings its mouth in again. As you try to hold your hammer, you feel the arm of the mouth kind of clasp around your forearm, and you feel its teeth begin to sink into your arm.
Damn.
As it begins to sink in, you kind of feel the teeth go deeper and deeper, almost touching bone. You take 12 points of damage.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Okay. Selena, it's your turn. You feel yourself, at this point, you can't move. As you feel your body just kind of restrained by this, like, motion as its eyes are, like, staring at you.
Can I have Sarah's just like try to come up to me and like just kind of pounce on me, like kind of pushing me, see if he can get me out of this state?
Sure. By the way, I'm just gonna you can like turn your head and all that.
I can.
Yeah. You're just kind of locked into place. Like you can't move.
Sarah's, and I just call for him to help me to see if I
Wait,
can gain
hold on. Actually, I want to make
mobility.
sure just 100% here. Oh no, you actually have to roll again.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta roll again.
It's
Would
pretty
I
bad.
roll?
Petrified is
It's pretty
Yeah,
bad.
go ahead and roll
Like,
Constitution here.
This is. I'm trying to keep holding
Constitution
all
save?
in right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why I wanted to see if any of us knew anything about this at the beginning of the fight.
So as you kind of feel yourself stiffening up, you pull back your roll one more time, and then you just feel your vision just kind of fade to dark.
Oh no.
Okay. I'm gonna have Silas act of his own accord, and then in your defense, he's gonna do attack. Get in there, you little rascal.
Come on, Sarah's. Come on, Sarah's.
That hits.
Yeah, let's go.
And 100%. He's got to roll a Constitution save.
Oh,
That's a
don't
nat
do it.
20. Wow.
Let's go.
What the
Sarah says his mom's rolls.
Let's go.
You see as
Sarah's.
Sarah's bounds over and turns and like jumps off the wall and bites into the back of this thing's neck and deals 7 points of damage as his teeth sink in, blood is just pouring out of the side of it.
Man.
Okay. That is going to be Aegis, your turn.
All right. So I see Asher start like
Slowing down.
freezing up.
I'm
yeah.
like, can't swing.
I don't really have anything I
This
can
is
do to
really
help you at this
bad.
point.
Yeah, it's like the
Yeah,
worst
it's
thing
really
ever right
bad.
now.
All right. I'm going to just unarmed attack it again. I will continue averting my
Okay.
gaze.
As
And-
you swing, you fist meets air as it goes straight past. Asher.
I gotta roll, right?
Yep.
Okay.
got this. Never mind. You don't got this.
As Asher reaches
Oh
out,
my
you just see him
God.
and you see him just freeze, hammer above, as his skin grows pale and gray.
Oh boy.
Okay. Nick.
Seeing.
You're averting your gaze. You didn't see
I
shit.
can't see that. I continue to shoot with disadvantage, I guess.
Yep. That hits.
Still
Nice.
pretty
Nice.
He
good.
fires better when he's not looking.
Oh my god.
I'm just gonna fire in a panic. I'm gonna
So
feed a position
ridiculous.
fire. Just
Nick, you heard the sound of the previous attacks and just kind of using the guesstimate based off the sound. You take another arrow and fire it. And, you hear another squeal as this thing just is the arrow sinks straight into its neck, sinking in. Nice damage. Okay.
I hate me so much right now.
All right. It is his turn. Turns and attacks El Tigre. And misses. What the?
No.
Okay, so as he turns and swings at Saris, Saris is able to quickly just dodge out of the way, just be quite nimble, and able to just back up and
Let's
just kind of
go!
snarl like, and just start back at it. Selena, not your turn. So it's gonna
I can't do
be
anything?
Saris' turn. Nope. All right.
Saris?
Saris again kind of hisses back and then jumps forward, and as this creature kind of swipes forward, it bites on it, kind of lashes on it with its teeth, and Saris kind of rides. He gets kind of whipped back and forth as it digs its teeth further and further, and deals another 7 points of damage.
Let's go, Saris.
Saris!
Saris is
Yeah.
good work.
Roll a 15 on that one. All right. Aegis.
All right. I'm gonna cast Burning Hands at it. So it has to make a Dex save.
Yep.
DC 13.
No.
All right.
that's
So it takes 11 fire damage.
Yeah, Aegis, as you place your hand, as this creature kind of reels back, you reach up, and as you you look up and meeting its gaze for a moment, you feel yourself slow down. You grab its you put your hand on its chest. You see as this fire begins to spread across it and just kind of reels back. Its mouth begins to burn as it begins to cough up fire. Its eyes explode out as its torso rips apart open and falls down to the ground. Kind of hear the shriveling and the squealing of its flesh begin to pop and sizzle as it falls dead.
Oh shit. Let's go.
Yeah.
So are we out of turn order? Or
That is the end of combat.
okay. I want to turn and look at Asher. Does he still seem to be like freezing up?
Yeah, he seems that Asher is just completely frozen in place.
Wow. In my studies, do I know anything about removing petrification?
You've seen this before. You've seen that your masters brought people back through different means, through a couple of different spells.
Okay. None of those I have access to, though.
One you know is Greater Restoration. We just lost someone. Oh, hi, welcome back.
No.
Welcome
He's
back.
role playing for real. No.
Just freeze your camera if you would be so kind, thanks.
Hold on, I'm working on it.
just don't move. Good luck. Smile and then just hold it.
I mean, outside of that, you know that
Yeah.
these creatures.
I know there's powerful
There you go.
magic, but nothing past
Nice.
that.
You know that far as potions to fix this, using the stomach acid of these creatures is useful as an ingredient. You don't really too much to extent that, so
I don't know anything past that. The stomach acid can be used in combination with other things.
you know there's an ingredient mixed with healing potions. That's about it.
Okay.
While he's hemming and hawing, I unavert my gaze, hearing it screech, and notice that it's been killed.
Mick,
But I also recognize that Asher is.
and beyond this
Frozen.
creature in the field, you see a black kind of black fur cloaked figure standing there. And you watch as he just fades.
Fades as in like he.
Like he just
goes out of
fades,
sight.
just goes transparent type of thing. He just, almost like the wind just carried him off, almost like with dust.
I run up to Asher and Aegis. What happened?
he's being petrified.
Being or is?
I think he's in the process. He isn't fully.
No, he's
stoned
fully
yet.
stoned.
Oh, is he fully stoned?
Yeah,
okay.
he's
Never
100.
mind. He is petrified.
He is stoned out of his mind.
Fix it. Hurry. Selena,
I
do
don't
you?
know.
And I turn and I see Selena also petrified.
Yeah, you see your arrow drawn.
Oh,
At this point, Saris has gone up, and you see
No.
that he's curled around, just kind of like rubbing his head against the statue. His head low.
Aegis,
I
fix
know.
it.
All I know is that the stomach acid of this creature, it can be used in combination with other things.
Like
to
what other things?
undo
Quick.
it. Do you have a healing potion?
Wait, hold on. And I run over to Selena and I search. Would I be able to find any of the potions that were on her
Everything's
that
stone,
she took
right?
from?
Petrify, I believe so. I think Flesh of Stone is something different. Is it? So I think with Petrify, yeah, you see her full pack, everything is just stone.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just going to let's see. I think I have like a small knife in my I have a small knife in my scholar's pack. I'm gonna take that out. I'm gonna try and like cut open the stomach of this creature to get at its stomach acid, and I'm just gonna like see just if I put some on Asher, if that'll fix this.
You pour some over on the stone statue, and it just kind of just drips off. And as you're doing this, you begin to hear a cracking sound. As you look over to the right, you see some of the townspeople that their legs begin to crack and shatter, and then about half the statue just on the ground. You see the rubble and stone.
Oh shit!
And that is where we will end that session.
Wow.
No! I don't want to be stoned.
Don't worry, you're dead. It's fine.
No.
Thank you guys all for joining us for episode 7 of Dungeon League. Thank you guys for being here. We'll be back again on Wednesdays and apparently some Sundays. Remember, don't get stoned.
Wow.
If you do, you'll die.
Yeah. Thank you guys for being here. Hope you guys had a good time. Make sure you guys follow all these wonderful people: Athena, Uni, Kugo, and Lawler. I'll stream on Twitch. Follow them on Twitter. Thank you guys for being here for this amazing, amazing adventure. Until then, we will see you guys next time, and have a wonderful, wonderful night.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye, I'm sad.